Hello and welcome to We Got Issues, the only comic book podcast that believes the 1991 DC Comics event Armageddon 2001 needs to be reprinted in full. If you don't know, you should look it up, and if you do know, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, Josh?
Yes and no. I mean, I was like 5 when it came out, so I don't know if that helps you out on that, but I know. What was the main bad guy? I'm seeing it in my head, but
Yeah, it's this character called Monarch, and the idea is
right?
that this guy named the Wave Rider, he finds out that some hero goes evil in the far-flung future of 2001 and destroys, kills all the heroes in the DC universe, and he's going to go back in time and figure out which hero turns evil. Of course, fans figured it out, or because it got leaked who it was, so not Marvel, DC had to scramble and change the identity of who the villain was going to be, and it made no sense because they're like, well, wait a minute, you just said it wasn't that character, how could it be them? So it's crazy, and you can tell DC will never reprint it, but man, I will say all of the issues leading up to the ending were a lot of fun.
Who was the original, and who did it become?
Well, I was going to save it for an essay or a video, or rather a podcast essay I'm kind of writing, but I'll just reveal it right now. So originally, I believe it was supposed to be Captain Atom, but I believe everyone.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, but then it turns out that it was Dove from Hawk from Hawk.
Hawk, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I had both of them in my head, so I was either one of those. And he come back in the whole Final Crisis stuff?
Yeah, he shows up again. I think he shows up in, he pops up periodically. I think he shows up in 0 Hour and whatever, but it was everyone's like, it's him, that guy right there. I'm like, oh crap, they know it's him. Well, we better change it. I'm like, no, you could have just done it. So what, that they figured it out? I don't care, but I digress. Speaking of digressing.
And then Hawk was the worst choice. I don't know why Hawk.
Well, it's because he was so fascistic and militaristic. It made sense, I guess. I don't know. It's just that they literally established in the Hawk and Dove comic, it cannot be this guy. Just kidding, it's this guy. It's like, well, wait a minute. You literally just, it's a whole thing. But anyway, as I said, I digress.
Yeah. Oh, no, I want to keep talking. This is the episode about Armageddon 2001 now.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's bonkers. The Superman issue is essentially a reverse of the Dark Knight Returns. It's great.
And Wave Rider, he was in a lot of the Superman stuff though too, with the Electric Superman, right? Around that.
He was around for Doomsday. He shows up for Doomsday. He's like, oh my God, this crazy event's going to happen. So he shows up a lot. And I believe when they had that CW show, was it Legends of Tomorrow? The name of the ship is based on him. That ship that travels through time. Well, that's the Wave Rider.
The Wave Rider. That's right. It is. That's crazy. Yeah. Never put that two and two. And did you ever watch that DC Legends of Tomorrow?
I sadly only watched about half a season of Arrow, and that was because I was working on the Will Wheaton project at the time, and I got tasked with watching those episodes for any little clips that we could pull out for the show.
Yeah. Your work on Will Wheaton project needs to be an essay video for that, for sure, for all the stories you told me of that. But
that's
I
want to keep working in this industry.
Yeah. But with the Legends of Tomorrow, though, I loved them. So they had Rip Hunter, and he was played by the same actor who plays Rory from Doctor Who.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was just kind of like a funny so he probably got his training about time travel from the Doctor, and now he's on Legends of Tomorrow type of thing.
You make that little kind of weird headcanon, kind of a crossover kind of situation. I was gonna say, isn't the main characters from Prison Break, aren't they Captain Cold and Heatwave or whatever?
Yeah,
as well?
They did that. Yeah, they did. Yeah, Captain Cold and Heatwave, and the Captain Cold. He was a kind of an interesting character in the CW show, but just hit the voice that was it Wentworth Miller? I think the name was the actor.
Yeah.
The voice. He was like, "Hello, I'm Captain Cold, and I'm very smart. What do you think we're doing?" I was
did not do that.
Oh yeah, no, look it up.
I'm not
It was
going
still
to,
a
but
fun show though. Yeah, it was a
I'm
fun
sure.
show. They had Sergeant Steel type of stuff, like kind of old school characters in there too. So
Nice,
twas
nice.
fun. They even had I
Wasn't
think
Constantine in there too?
Constantine was a little bit, yeah, the same actor too from
Yeah, from the
like the
Constantine show.
yeah, the NBC Constantine show. Wasn't it on the
Yeah.
NBC?
I don't
And
remember.
then
I
they
just
had
remember I think I was at Nerdist at the time when all that was kind of rolling out, so it was
mhm,
kind of, it all kind of blurs together, all that CW stuff and the
I
NBC
don't
stuff,
know.
because Supergirl was over at CBS, and then she ended up, it was like all that, like, just like,
Yeah, like
weird
CBS prime time.
cross-pollination. Yeah, no kidding. It's funny. Um, well, in case you haven't missed it, hi, I'm Brian Compton, aka BComp. Joining me as always is the milk to my cereal, Josh Markwith.
Yeah,
How
we're
you doing,
starting
Josh?
off like we're like
We're a
a
real podcast
well-oiled
now.
machine
I was gonna say,
right
we're a
now.
real podcast where we just vamp for 5 minutes before we actually get to the main topic.
Yeah, well, I mean, if people don't like that, they're not gonna like this episode because we're
Oh,
doing like
no.
completely like not our normal format or discussion of like one book, like doing a deep dive or anything. Because I'm gonna
It's the
be
end of the
honest,
year.
I was end of the year, I was on vacation, and so with that, I have a lot of like uh catch up on work too. So I knew like I'm not gonna be wanting to do a deep
What,
dive on a book.
60 issues of Hitman
Yeah,
plus all
not
the
really into that.
tie-ins?
Or like another Invincible volume, or
Oh, man, that was
all the just all the research and stuff that goes into it too, which
yeah.
by that I mean you do all the research and I just kind of comment on it on the side. Um
No, you do research, you're good about it. I actually really appreciate what you do, so don't sell
appreciate
yourself
it.
short. Well, if that's the case, Josh, what are we doing in this episode?
Yeah, we're just going to be talking about the issues that we have, but also like good issues, bad issues. Just we're just talking about the year of 2025 and then what we're looking
Best
forward
and
to in
worst.
2026.
Yeah, best and worst of
So
2025.
yeah,
It's
and, like just how are we feeling? How do we felt the year went? How
yeah,
both in comics and media and all that stuff.
yeah, just the comics in general. Yeah, it's sad because, like, as I was, like, writing this episode of them, which this is gonna be a really loosey episode, it's not gonna be as written as scripted as I normally have.
Yeah, you already
It's like,
wrote way too much than I thought I wanted you to.
yeah,
So
shut up.
yeah.
I was gonna say, it's funny because I was, like, looking at my shelf, I'm like, "Damn it, I still didn't read that book, I didn't read that book." Like, I have that new hardcover from Brian K. Vaughan, Spectators, haven't had a chance to read that.
Mm.
It's like, I've got the Criminal book by Ed Brubaker, I've read half of it, it's great, but I haven't finished it. Haven't had a chance to talk about that. Same, he just put out a one shot because they've got the Criminal, series coming out on
I was
Amazon
about to say,
Prime.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I heard
I'm
about that.
behind on a lot of reading, so it's like I feel bad being like, "Oh, it's the best of 2005 and or 2025." I'm like, "I technically haven't read all of it,
I
damn it."
know. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, and you just outed yourself. You could have just said, like, I read all this stuff. And Brubaker,
Yeah.
he's like show running that show too. Like he's like
Yeah.
fully EP of that.
But to be fair, when it comes to Brubaker, like, especially in the work he puts out right now, like, it's a slam dunk for me usually. Like, I mean, I hate to say it, but it could be him, like, taking a character and, like, taking the phone book, I'm gonna recite the phone book in comic form. Like, I'm gonna read that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I give him a lot of leeway, and even with Brian K. Vaughan, like, some of it's hit or miss, but for the most part, he's always a hit. And like, I haven't read a chance to read Spectators, but then I haven't seen anybody buzzing about it online either. That's what's kind of weird to me. I'm like, oh, no one's talking about this. Did this flop? Was it not good? So I'm kind of
Mhm.
curious to dive into that. But
It's pretty
before we
under
can
the
dive
radar
into,
for pretty under the
there's,
radar for Kayvon.
yeah, it is. Yeah, I
He
think he's
hasn't
just
done a
been working.
lot since, like, for a
Yeah,
while, right? He's been TV
he,
stuff.
yeah, mostly TVs. I mean, pays better. Don't you? Do you blame the guy?
Oh yeah, no, I know. No, I'm just saying, like, you would
Yeah,
think like his return to comic books would be a
yeah.
little bit more of
Yeah,
a
be more
hoopla.
of a yeah, like a big splash as opposed to a plop. Who knows?
Yeah,
I'm sure it's great. I just haven't had a chance to get into it. But before we get into all of that, I think we need to do a little sponsor. Josh, you want me to take
I
this or you got
see.
it?
I think the best of the year is we still have a sponsor. It's
It is the best thing of the year.
yeah, and of course, with that, best of the year, this is going to be the best of the year ad read. So here we
Oh,
go.
do it.
Yeah, I'm already putting it on a high pedestal. This is what's going on. Uh, so look, if you're looking for the best treats this side of your local comic shop, you need to check out Duff and Shaw's world famous snacks. They've got wild cherry dogman gummies. They got Bigfoot smoky kettle crunch. And like these snacks and candy have been curated for the most mysterious and undiscovered places on planet Earth. So you need to head over to duffandshaw.com/issues today and check out all they got and more. I mean, that's duffandshaw.com/issues. Helps the podcast and you get some good snacks. So it's a win-win.
I was going to say, so my wife actually ended up ordering some, which is why we actually had a
Nice.
sale go through. Where I was like, "Hey, who's this sale right here? Like, who actually bought from her
Yeah.
thing?" It
She
turns out it was my
surprised
wife. And I legitimately, I'm not saying this because they're our sponsor and I'm friends with them, so full disclosure. But like in all seriousness, I was like, these are actually really
They're
good.
good, right? Yeah.
I was
No,
actually surprised.
I
was
had
like,
ordered
this
some.
surprised. Like, that sounds shitty to say, but like I was like, this is really
No,
good.
yeah. Well, yeah, no, I had ordered some. I've been, just
Yeah.
shouting their praises too. I think I would,
Yeah.
even if they weren't a sponsor, because they're
Yeah.
really good stuff. It's just,
Yeah, yeah. I got the wild cherry balls. You know what I mean? Like I
oh
forget
yeah, those are
they're
good.
called
Those,
those are
the sour
I
cherry balls.
I love those. I've always loved those anyway, but I was like, these are really good. And then we got the golden Nessie eggs, which are like almonds with that like caramel golden crust
Yeah,
on them.
those are really good.
Yeah, and then
I
the other one
was,
was go ahead. What? Sorry.
oh no, I don't know. You keep going. You keep going on your order.
I was gonna say, and the last one we got was like this, like they were like spicy and toffee nut crunch. I don't know what it
Mhm.
was, but it was legit. Like I was like, oh, it's like it was just that, just enough of like that hit of like, oh, get a little fire in there, but not too much. And it
Yeah,
mixed with the
yeah.
sweet real well. So,
I like
would
it.
you
Next time, dude, get their I don't know if you like licorice, but those they
red or
have like the
black?
I like the red. I don't do black
Yeah, I don't do black
licorice.
licorice. Yeah, sorry. Same.
Oh, we don't play that. But
Mm.
and you know what surprised me too? The those lemon almonds.
Mhm. Okay.
I like those too. I mean,
All right.
again, I've they've sent me stuff too, and it's been all good.
Yeah.
So
So, yeah, in all seriousness, if this is we're actually endorsing, and at this point, we can officially endorse the product as good.
oh,
We have
I've
tried it. We have
officially done that
sampled it.
this whole time.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't
You're
have, but
the
I mean,
late bloomer, not me.
well, look,
I've
man,
been
I've been
indoctrinated
unemployed.
since the
I
beginning.
can't just be buying candies willy nilly through the mail. Like, I got to have a
Through the
job.
mail.
This is my job, I guess. That's what coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go check it out. Go to duffandshaw.com/issues and please pick up some snacks. Like as Josh said, helps them out, helps us out, and we really do appreciate it.
Yeah, and it keeps the lights on.
Yeah, it does.
Um, and 2025 is coming to an end,
Yeah.
and what better way to kind of boost our algorithm? Yeah, that's some inside baseball from people who've
Yeah.
done the stuff on the behind the scenes. By doing like a best of the worst list, or just talking about best of the worst for 2025, because you're going to be seeing a whole lot. What would you? This is kind of like our. This is we got issues wrapped.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
year in review kind of thing.
Yeah. And then we're going to also talk about stuff that's coming up in 2026 that
Mhm.
we're excited for.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
look,
since this is since this is a comic show, we
Yeah.
should probably talk about comics, I'd say.
yeah, if we want to.
Yeah, well, let's just kick it off. Let's get into actually just the comic book stuff. We're going to save all the movie stuff and all that stuff for a little bit later in the show. But
Yeah.
Josh, I got to ask you right off the bat, what was your favorite issue or comic or just creator that you had? Like one of your, like, what are you starting off with in
Yeah,
2025?
just what I've
Yeah.
been feeling this year.
Yeah, what you been feeling? This is the top five.
See.
We'll come in. Number 5.
Yeah. We're just throwing out our numbers. I don't even know if we might even come up with more while we talk about it. But
Sure.
because I can see both our lists, so I'm going to start taking stuff off of your list because we have a lot of the same ones,
There's overlap.
and I know you're going to want to talk about this. Is that
Oh, yeah.
I've been really digging the Energon universe, both
Ooh.
sides of the Transformers and the GI Joe. GI Joe has been like surprised.
Dynamite.
Yeah, GI Joe surprises me every time. I've always been a Transformers fan because it's
Mhm.
robots and it's cars
Mhm.
and house, but GI Joe, to the unindoctrinated, you would
Mhm.
think that they haven't come out with good books in a while. That's undoctrinated, but
Yeah.
the IDW stuff was great, and then
Yes, it was.
the later stuff as well after that. But like this stuff kind of it keeps plussing, and the Energon universe stuff has been great. Like it started with all the those mini like one shots and kind of
Yeah, Cobra Commander, Duke, Scarlet, and Destro, I wanna say?
yeah, Destro, yeah, and
Yeah.
seeing those all come together to like this now main series has been pretty awesome, and how they're integrating the Transformers
Mhm.
stuff into GI Joe, like
Yeah, and vice
making it
versa
make
too.
sense. Yeah,
And vice versa, the G.I. Joes into the Transformers books.
right, right, and just making having it make sense,
Uh-huh.
which is cool because they explain like why they had like lasers in the cartoon
Yeah.
is
Energon.
using yeah, you reusing energon and stuff.
Yeah.
So I've just been really digging it. The art's been great, the writing's been great.
Yeah, it's
Um,
Josh Williamson, he is
yeah,
a big up and comer right now. That guy legit like his Superman stuff over on DC, it's top notch.
he's also gonna have a big 2026, which we'll talk about
Yeah,
too. But yeah, it's another thing on my list too. Is like his Superman because of
yeah,
a certain group that's coming back. But yeah,
yeah,
Energon universe has been still firing on all cylinders. I know it
yeah.
started like in 2023, but
Yeah, but
this
it's
has
it's been just
been
2025,
good.
it's really kinda hitting you, like you said, it's been nailing it. I mean, it's funny,
Mhm.
are you reading, Void Rivals? That's, the sister book to the 2 that kinda kicked the whole thing off. You read that other
Right.
book?
I've been not really, no. I've just been
You
kind of with the
should,
Transformers and
because I'm telling you, like, you should because it ties directly into both Transformers and G.I. Joe. Not only do
mhm.
you have, like, various Transformers showing up a lot and, like do you remember in the Transformers cartoon, those evil heads with the tentacles? I don't forget what the hell they're
Oh
called.
yeah, no, no, it was from the movie. Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
they're straight up in Void Rivals, like, they're a main antagonist in the book,
Hmm.
um, and not only that, like, you also have, Cobra Law and, like, Globulus and Pythona and all the Cobra Law stuff, that ties into Void Rivals as well.
Hmm.
So, it's definitely if you're into it, you should read all 3 books at the same time. I
There you go. Now I
highly,
have something
highly
to read over
recommend.
the break.
Yeah, I was gonna say Transformers, though, I've also been enjoying that one too, because I everything you said about Energon, I 100% agree. I'm glad that they're now doing the Invincible treatment with it, like, they're gonna make it a big cartoon series or a big universe
Yeah.
in the media world like that. I was gonna say, there's Daniel Warren Johnson, who I'm gonna talk about in a little bit. He did the first, like, 24 issues of Transformers, like, he wrote them, and I think he drew the first arc, and it's sensational. There's just some great paneling in that, and I say that as a G.I. Joe kid. I don't think it's better than the Transformers is better than G.I. Joe, but it's right there, pretty much equal,
Mhm.
so I 100% agree with you.
Righteous. Now, what's next on your list?
Well, for me, one of the things that I kind of think that slipped under the radar that I think, and you've talked about this on a previous podcast, is all of the JMS books that came out this week, this year, the team up books. So it's like
Yeah, those have
Fin
been
Fang
great.
Foom versus Nick Fury, or Doctor Strange teams up with Hulk, or Volstagg and Captain America, or Doctor Doom and Rocket
Rocket.
Raccoon. Galactus and Ghost Rider. He did a whole series of these like one shots, and there were 6 of them all together. And it was like look, oh yeah, it was like he put a dartboard up of every character in the Marvel universe and just threw darts at it. He's like, oh, okay, Rocket Raccoon, huh, Doctor Doom. All right, let's team them up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Volstagg from Thor comics and Captain
Yeah.
America, a pair
He's
I
being
never ever
badass.
it was great. It gave Volstagg such, and I think we talked about this, such good backstory. I was like, oh, Volstagg's like the dude who eats a lot. Oh no, this is really cool and surprisingly heartbreaking in a weird way. I was gonna say I'm a big JMS fan, despite all the the one more day or whatever the crap that was. Like I
Yeah.
really did like his Spider-Man, and I generally speaking, he's doing a Spider-Man series right now called Torn. It's a 5-issue mini, and it kind of harkens back to his college years. It's just great. It's like the best Spider-Man comic I've read in a while, to be honest. And no offense to
Which
Joe
is
Kelly, but yeah, it's
which
good.
is, it's the bar was pretty low on the regular Spider-Man.
Sorry, Zeb Wells. I know you meant
Yeah,
well,
sorry.
but I
Yeah.
really didn't care for your run, and I'm not trying to be mean to you. Like you're a professional and whatever, but I just it wasn't for me.
Yeah. No, so
Um,
yeah, just because it's not for us doesn't mean it can't be for you.
yeah, exactly,
It was
exactly.
like, but JMS is like his coming home. The Spider-Man
Yeah,
coming home is one of my favorite Spider-Man stories with
yeah.
the introduction of Morlun and stuff. So
I even liked real quick. I even liked that grew Peter in the sense that like, okay, he's not a photojournalist. He made him a teacher, a science teacher
right,
at Queen. I was like, that's brilliant.
made
That was brilliant,
complete
and it was
sense.
so stupid they got rid of that.
Yeah, and they even kind of adapted that in the PlayStation game a little bit
Oh,
too, the
interesting. That's
second
cool.
PlayStation game, and
Oh,
then
cool.
but there's a so and it was drawn by Ramita
Yep.
Jr.
Covers
JR. And
yeah.
so his cover,
It was,
the like the
Jake
main
Scott Campbell J. Scott Campbell did the covers too, so a lot of
right,
J's.
right. So I mean the one of the covers that was so cool. So I had this I had to like so in high school I was kind of a football star.
Oh, I think I know where this is going. I think you told the story before.
Yeah, yeah. No, again, when I say football star, I mean I was like mediocre average at playing. But I did, I lettered, and then I
Yeah.
had a Letterman jacket, so I was able to like adapt like the one of the pictures on the back, like to
Uh,
make it look cool, like and stuff. But like the lady who worked on it died in the middle of working on it.
oh,
So
jeez
I had
Louise.
like a cursed Letterman jacket with
Oh,
Spider-Man, and
no.
the company that did it got in trouble because of copyright
Oh,
somehow.
jeez.
So like I had
Okay.
like they
Cursed
just
jacket,
threw my Letterman jacket at me. It's like, get out of my store. We're done.
dude.
But it's
Wow.
just so that's a little fun and little story about my history with JMS Spider-Man. And we
All
actually
right.
did like a full episode on the OG We Got Issues too on
Yeah, we're gonna have
his
to
run on
we're at
that.
the what the yeah, the one that we did back at Nerdist days. Yeah, we're at to
Oh,
revive some of those because I was looking my wife was asking about, like, what are some funny comics? I was like, "Oh, yeah, we did, like, Superior Foes of Spider-Man." That's one of the funniest books out there.
yeah.
Well, we did that
And
on
we
when
did
we
Next Wave too. So
oh,
we
yeah,
need to
next
talk
wave as
about
well.
both of
Yeah,
those.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Moving on, what's your next pick?
what's my next pick?
Yeah.
Just so I don't keep taking stuff off
Oh, you
your
can do it, I
list
don't
that
care.
we
You can
both
take it
had.
right off, man.
I don't
Take it
know.
right off.
I think one that I really liked was Daredevil Cold Day in Hell, which was like a 3-issue miniseries, and it was I talked about it too about like what I was reading, and it was basically like
Old Man Logan
it's Old Man Logan,
or
but it's what it
Dark
was
Knight
like.
Returns.
Yeah, it was more like what they wanted Spider-Man Reign to be,
Mhm. Yeah.
and it's very good. The art is really like
Yeah. It was,
yeah, it's
Steve
very
McNiven.
gory. Yeah,
Yeah,
Steve
it's
McNiven.
Charles Soule and, Steve McNiven. I actually
Yeah,
had that book on my list, and I took it off to put something else on, but I 100% agree with you. That was
and I
a
stole it.
yeah, you
Um,
stole it's a good book.
yeah, it's very fun. It's the characterization of Daredevil and just everybody else like around him too, because you get a lot of surprise
Yeah,
um
cameos.
cameos from different characters like
Cap.
Punisher and Bullseye and Cap and
Mhm.
a lot of it's like an ode. It's like a Daredevil book. It's kind of like an ode to street level Marvel,
Yeah,
which was great. So again, it's like it's definitely it's only 3 issues, so it's an easy read too. So
yeah,
it was one of
yeah.
my top though this year. It was
Like I said
McNiven, but it wasn't
yeah, it wasn't
normal
traditional
McNiven.
McNiven. Yeah, he was getting real, almost this is gonna sound weird, but it almost looked like he drew it with, like, his opposing hand, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Like, normally he's got very clean lines, and it was almost a very, like, sketchy, almost like scattered, and I mean that in a good way. It felt
yeah.
almost like he was, like, channeling a little bit of Frank Miller for it, which would make sense considering Frank Miller's roots with the character, you know?
It was that, and then like the way that the lines were and the color,
Mhm.
it was
Yeah.
like little jock in there too.
Yeah, yeah.
And just like usually his whoever he works with, like in color and stuff, like if you compare that to, let's just say, like Civil War, his work on
So
Civil War,
yeah,
it's very like lighter colors, a lighter
yeah.
palette, and then
Mhm.
also not as like painted
Yeah,
seeming. Like Civil War has like a painted kind of quality
yeah,
to it,
yeah.
and this one didn't. So it's again, it's more of that street level
It felt
feel.
very pale, if that makes sense. Maybe it was just because of all the snow, but it had, like, this almost
Yeah,
like it was, like, almost, like, bleeding at the seams. I don't know.
it
It
was
was good, though. It was
brighter. What's funny,
yeah,
it's like a brighter book for such a dark
dark
story.
here. Yeah, it was pretty dark. It's yeah, I 100% agree with you on that one. Like I said, it was on my list, and I clipped it off for my number 3 pick, which I still,
Mm.
still looking at. But my number 4 pick, believe it or not, I'm gonna it's not really a book per se, it's more of a writer. His name is Dennis Camp. He's the guy who's writing Ultimates, Assorted Crisis Events, and he's also writing Absolute Manhunter. He's kind of like a big up and comer right now. And I gotta say, like, it's funny. It's like once an Image book, once a Marvel book, and once a DC book, and they all have like this like unique feel to all three of those books, and they're great.
Mhm.
Assorted Crisis Events is almost like Twilight Zone meets, big events like with time travel and stuff like that. So it's like, what if like Zero Hour or Crisis on Infinite Earths actually happened to us in real life? And like suddenly
Mhm.
your loved ones were just gone because of, superhero shenanigans. Like, how would that affect you as a person? On like an actual a civilian in all this. So it's stuff like that. Ultimates has been, I think, one of the best books of the new Ultimate line. And like I said, Absolute Manhunter, Martian Manhunter has been just, top notch. So again, a little bit of a cheat, kind of just throwing a creator out there, but those are, I think that if you see his name on a book, it's something worth check out.
Yeah, I've been every month I'd been excited to read the new Ultimates because I've been liking where that was going. So I mean,
Mhm,
it definitely was
mhm,
one of my top stuff, and I can't wait to see what else he does
mhm,
next year as well. Like he's
mhm.
again, like you said, he's up and comer, so he's getting a lot of momentum.
Yeah,
So hopefully
exactly.
they don't give him an event too fast and lose that
Yeah,
momentum. So we'll see.
yeah. Let's see. What about you, man? What you got next?
So I'm gonna also talk about creator. I think this person, I mean, yes, we've talked about him en nauseum on this
Mhm,
podcast, and then he's yes, I mean, this is a big surprise that he's doing well, but I mean, to be honest, Mark Wade has had a fantastic year, I think, this
yeah,
year because he has been Mr. DC
mhm,
mainly, but also it's like, what was it? It's Justice League
yeah,
Unlimited,
yep.
World's Finest,
World's Finest.
Batman and Robin. He just
Yep,
came
year
off the
one.
heels
Yep,
of
yep,
Absolute Power,
yep.
and then he's been kind of, you can tell he's been kind of in the background supporting um, other books and pushing other books too. So I think Mark Waid has had a great 2025, and
Yeah,
so have we by reading his stuff.
yeah.
He keeps getting um he's working with great artists too. I mean, him and Mora is just
Mhm,
right now I think is like a dream team,
mhm,
like a current dream team, because Mora has the art to catch up or to stay in line with the ideas of Mark Waid. Like,
mhm.
not that he's like he does like crazy stuff, like
No, no,
he doesn't do, he's not a Morrison for sure, but
no.
he's
But you
his stuff is very clever and succinct, and he knows how to do a twist, and he knows how to keep books going. Like again, he's like top. He's on full cylinder on three different books.
Yeah. Well, he's also, and not only just that, he's also doing Flash with Christopher Cantwell. He's returned with
Right.
he's back on a Barry or Wally West book, which, oh my, be still my heart. Like, oh, Mark Waid on Wally West, please. Like, that is the peak
Check
right
Brian
there.
Shorts.
Yeah, seriously. No, like his Flash Wally West is like the run for Wally. And to see him back, because he was always said, I love Wally, and yeah, I'd like to write him again. It's like you can tell that he knows Wally inside and out. And even if he's just co-writing it with Cantwell, which I actually really like Christopher Cantwell as well. I think he's a great writer. So to see him doing that, and then yeah, it's that he's also doing Action Comics right now as
I was about
well.
to say he's doing Superman too, so like
Yeah.
he's returning to books that he's always wanted to do too.
Yeah, and you can tell, man, he is happier than a pig in shit, dude. Like, good on that guy. And yeah, I can't talk him up enough. Like, I really do respect, him. And it's funny you should bring up Grant Morrison because the two of them, it's like they're such different writers in a way, but they've so weirdly line up together so well as like their JLA runs are kind of intermixed. They were doing that Superman back in the day before they got kicked out of DC together. So it's
Yeah.
like, like I'm glad to see, Mark, finally get what he always wanted. Because he's always said he's like, I've always wanted to do a run on Superman. I'm like, well, man, you're doing it. Because not only that, like you just said, World's Finest, it's coming up on issue like 46 just dropped today. He's done,
Mhm.
that's almost 4 years of continuous Batman and Superman together. And now he's doing Action Comics on top of that. Please, pizza chef.
Yeah, and again, just, there's no decline either.
No,
There's not
no.
like there's I don't think there's a lull in his stuff, so it's
Yeah.
just been great.
It's just good comics. Like I said, he's not like reinventing the wheel. He's just doing good comics. And sometimes that's all you really
That's
need.
all you
It's
need
just
to
like,
do,
yeah, it's just like, oh,
especially
good
when everybody's
surprise.
trying so hard on everything else and it's not
Well,
really
yeah,
working.
yeah, it's like the shock value and all that. It's like you don't need that sometimes. Sometimes you just need the that's cool, cool twist. It's like, oh, I didn't see that
Yeah.
guy coming. Like that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, that's clever. I mean, like you want that out of a book, and you can tell that he's enjoying writing it. He's not bitter about anything. It's like his enthusiasm comes through on the page, and it's refreshing. It's really refreshing. So speaking of Christopher Cantwell, it's funny, my number 3, I had originally put down Energon Universe, but since we already talked about that,
Yeah.
I was debating between a book by Escape called Escape by Rick Remender. I was debating on Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, but I'm gonna settle on this book called Out of Alcatraz. It's a book out of, I believe, Oni Press, and it's basically just about the 3 guys who escape from Alcatraz. I believe the artist is, I want to say Tyler Crook. It's the guy who did the Sixth Gun I forget who the writer was on that, but he's more of a known for like a horror book artist. But the
Okay.
writer is Christopher Cantwell, who had just previously mentioned this writing Flash with Mark Wade. But Cantwell's just like one of those writers who it seems like he can do anything. And I don't mean that in a, like, oh, he was writing Iron Man for a while. He's doing Star Trek books over at IDW. He's doing the Flash book with Mark Wade. He just did a Plastic Man miniseries that was phenomenal, like over at DC. It was great. I think it was a black label one. It was so good. So it's just the book is very simple. It's just about these 3 guys, the 3 guys who escape from Alcatraz and them going on the run. And I don't really want to spoil it much more than that, because it's kind of based in history, but it's
Mhm.
a fictional retelling of like how it kind of played out. So yeah,
One of
check it
them is
out.
DB Cooper, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
No, I'm just kidding. I
Yeah,
haven't read it yet, but I do want
yeah.
to.
It's worth
He
it.
gave a
It's
good
worth it.
advertisement for it.
All right.
Um,
What about
speaking of
you, man?
Alcatraz,
Yeah.
my next one is I'm going to be talking about, because if I talk about one, I know you're going to talk about the other one, so I just want to make
Mhm.
sure
Yeah.
I get one of these out. I've been really loving the Absolute universe,
Mhm.
absolutely loving it, uh
Absolutely.
especially the Absolute Batman,
Whoa,
because
you beat me to the punch, baby.
no, because Absolute Batman, just the twist that the Snyder has done on Batman's Rogues Gallery
Yeah.
has been crazy awesome.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, yes, and if anybody's even been following the news of the Absolute Universe and just like how the Joker is, that's nuts right there. But just how we've got Batman's, again, like his Rogues Gallery, with the Riddler, the Penguin,
Yeah.
and
Croc, Catwoman.
Croc, and everybody. It's so crazy, but like makes sense in a way, and it's so like
Yeah.
gross, but good, and really has brought Batman down to brass tacks a little bit too. And I
Yeah.
mean, everybody was, I'm gonna be honest, like a lot of people were very skeptical about this
The bat
Absolute
symbol.
Batman, just from just the first design, like we were saying
Yeah.
with the bat symbol, and how
Yeah.
he's just like, all right, I'm just gonna make it even bigger. Anytime you
Yeah.
complain about it, I'm just gonna make it bigger, and made it into like a weapon. And just, this
Yeah.
is not the normal Batman, even
Yeah.
in how his not just the how the character history is, but just
Yeah.
how he acts too. And then with that, like you just mentioned, the Absolute Martian Manhunter
Yeah.
has been pretty awesome. Absolute Superman has been great. Wonder Woman has also been really
Phenomenal.
fun, and Flash has been great too. I love the
It's just
um mix with the Flashes going on right now. Like I
yeah.
love the like I talked about again. I'm like, we're talking about a lot of the stuff we've said. We've been reading
Yeah.
this year, but I talk
Over
about
the year.
like, yeah, but the how they're making the Wally a little bit like a mix of like him, and then uh Dr.
Bart.
Manhattan ish.
Oh, yeah, Mar yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, and
He's like
then the twist of
he's like,
like
"It's all
Gorilla
like Bart
Grodd.
Allen."
Yeah, yeah. But like the twist of like with Gorilla Grodd, and
Yeah.
then excuse me, his rogues. I mean, they've all been great. Kind of like the what DC had been chasing for a long time
Yeah.
was their version of the Ultimate Universe, and
Yeah.
I think they finally got it, and they finally have some meat to chew on, which has been great.
It's interesting you should say that because spoiler, like this is going to be my number two pick is going to be the Absolute Batman and Absolute Universe. But it's really it's funny like when they announced like Scott Snyder was doing the Absolute Batman, I'm like, why? He already did like
One of the
52
best
issues of
Batmans, yeah.
Batman, with Court of Owls and all that kind of stuff. And I was reading it, and it turns out like look, I read online that like there's some haters out there. Oh, I don't like you. They're not really changing that much. Everyone's just getting caught up in the design and da da da. I'm like, yeah, sure. But you know what? Whatever. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I don't care. I enjoy the hell out of it. It's really telling, that the first issue of Absolute Batman sells for like $120 online right now. You know what I mean? Like it's really
Uh-huh.
telling that every single one of those issues since they've come out have like skyrocketed in price because everyone's like, why are you not reading this book? Why are you not reading this book? Um, I was gonna say though, it's interesting though, Scott Snyder, he's like the problem what happened with DC is like the change of ownership, with Warner Bros. The constant like revolving door, it's Discovery or whatever, this,
It's
and so
still
they're like, oh,
changing.
yeah, social again, yeah. But like, like that's why New 52 happened is like, oh, well, we got to change everything. We got to get new readers. So throw out all the old continuity. And he was saying the absolute universe and what's going on with like Mark Wade's side over at this the normal their version of the 6161 or Earth One, I guess you'd call it. It's
Mm.
like it's proof that you can have continuity for the old fans and you can still have a new breath of fresh air for continuity for the old fans and a new breath of fresh air for new people who don't like are intimidated by that years and years and decades of stuff. um
Which is crazy to me because the blueprint was already done with the Ultimate Universe with
yeah,
Marvel. You
yeah,
just need to redo that blueprint, and I don't know why they had been so adverse to it for
well,
such a long. They tried it with All Star Universe, and that was
yeah, that
horrible.
botched, yeah.
Um,
I yeah,
like, so,
well, that's what I say.
it's
That's what
not
New
great.
52 was, is like their attempt to just we're gonna just ultimify the whole thing, and it's like you just threw out years and years,
Yeah,
and
but
yeah,
and
it was
also not for all the books. Batman was still under the same
Green
continuity, so was
Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Lantern. Well, that's
So
only
it
because
didn't
I
make
exist,
sense.
because Jeff Johns and Jim Lee were attached to those books, and like, you're not changing anything on us. So it was like, all right, well, I guess that. And so it's like weirdly, you have like a Green Lantern book where Coast City is destroyed and he goes crazy, and when Superman died, but wait a minute, Superman never actually died in his fight with Doomsday, so that didn't actually happen. It's like, well,
Right.
your continuity is just out the window at this point. But I digress. I will say, it's like I'm going to piggyback on for my number two is Absolute Batman. I will say though, the one book that isn't firing for me, and I really wish it was, is the Absolute Green Lantern. I really do like the writer Al Ewing, but it's not landing
Oh
for
yeah,
me.
I'm liking it. I'm
Really
digging.
okay.
I'm picking up what it's putting down.
All right.
I like with the different twist of just it's in this town, and Hal Jordan's
I find it a
not the
little
bad guy.
incomprehensible. I don't care that it's like
Oh,
Joe is she's the new Green Lantern. It's like it's just I'm like, wait, what is going on here? Like, I
you're
feel like I hate to
sexist. That
say
we know. You're
what's
like
up.
not my Green Lantern. You're
Well,
sexist.
yeah,
We
it's
know.
Kyle,
You
it's
don't
because it's
want
Kyle Rayner's My Green Lantern, guys. Come
to.
on.
He's
No,
not even in it. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, it's just I don't know, maybe maybe I need to go back and reread it, but like the first issue had me a little lost, and every subsequent issue has like left me a little like, wait, what's going on? But
Mhm.
that all said, and kind of piggybacking, like I said, on what you said about Absolute Batman, my one of my favorite issues of the year was and this is my number two pick, is the Absolute Batman annual that came out this year, the 2025 annual. And I'd previously mentioned him, Daniel Warren Johnson. He's the guy who was writing and drawing some of the Transformers stuff previously. He did a one shot annual where Batman kind of goes back to Absolute Batman's origins a little bit, and it's just him taking on a bunch of white supremacists.
Yeah.
And it has, without a doubt, one of my favorite panels of all time. Some white supremacist about to be, do the Hitler symbol of white power, and Batman just cracks his arm in half, full panel, like just crack. There's his arm
Hmm.
going 45 degrees in the wrong direction. And I was like, well, you had my curiosity. Now you have
Yeah.
my attention. um,
Funny because that line comes from white supremacists. That's
Yeah,
funny.
it does, I know. Well, I'm just co-opting it. No, honestly, like, it was like, that's great, and the fact that, like, that issue has instantly sold out, is now going for, like, 25, $35 on the back market already, tells you that, yeah, people are, like, fed up with that shit. So I'm really
Yeah.
glad to see, that's kind of like there's usually a groundswell, not to get political or anything, but there seems to be a swell of energy around it. And it's just a fun issue. I mean, he is such a great artist and such a good visual storyteller. To see him like tackle Batman like that, it's like, oh man, give this guy a Batman book. Give him a
Mm,
Batman book.
that would be
Anyway,
crazy. That'd be something for
well, like I said, he did
2026.
Transformers. He literally there's a great in his Transformers run. It's literally like a scene where like Optimus Prime is transforming into like into the semi mode to run someone over, and it's like you hear that, and he like writes in like the song trans.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like the
yeah, yeah.
transform. It's probably was the song. It's like that's so cool.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Speaking of just like, we had the moment too recently with Optimus Prime and Megatron on the
Hmm.
Transformers where
Hmm.
he said the line, like one of
Yeah,
us shall fall, which is great
yeah,
from the movie,
yeah,
uh, from the OG cartoon movie where
yeah. They drop
uh,
they drop the S bomb.
you,
kids kids never recovered from that movie.
no, absolutely not, because man, they when you have Optimus Prime die in like the first what
Oh,
20 minutes, you're like, oh my god,
well, it's funny.
what's
So,
going
how they
on?
had the G.I. Joe movie came out shortly after that, the one with Cobra Law and all that. Originally, they were
Right.
gonna kill, Duke in that, and then Falcon was gonna be his replacement, and they're like, "Oh, kids did not react well to that," and they're like,
Mm-mm.
"Oh, yeah, he" they had to redo it, "He fell into a coma," and then, like, at the end of like, "We just got a word from Doc. Duke's gonna be A-okay," like, totally off panel. He just literally
Ba-dun-dun.
yeah, he literally gets stabbed in the heart with a snake, and you're just like, with a poisonous snake. Oh, he fell into a coma. Oh, he's gonna be
Yeah.
A-okay. I'm like, yeah. They're like, yo, we need to fix that now.
Finish it in fix it in post. We're gonna
Fix it in
ADR
post.
something else.
That's exactly what happened.
Oh man, we need to
Anyway,
do like a rewatch of those movies. We can
oh,
do like a movie night. How about that?
it's
Yeah, like, if you guys want a movie night with Brian and Josh, we'll figure out
we'll do a
something on
Patreon
Twitch or
for it or something
something.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Patreon, or do like a Twitch stream or
Twitch
something.
Twitch or something like that. It's funny because like the Cobra Law, it's so hated, but yet it's now like because like even in the IDW run, they turned it into like a Scientology cult kind of thing. It was like, oh, this is
Yeah,
really good. And then in the current, like I said, the Void Rival stuff and Transformers, they've turned it into straight. No, this is straight up Cobra Law. That's Globulus and Pythona, and yep, there's a weird cult of
right.
snake people living beneath the surface of the planet, and that's where Cobra Commander comes from. It's like they just like
Yeah.
leaned into it. They're just like, we're going for it.
Also,
Fuck it.
also, where they, you see who they had like imprisoned the whole time too,
Yeah.
which explains more too. Like they had that in the Cobra
Yeah.
mini,
Oh,
where
the
it's
Make
like,
Your Minis that was a great miniseries, by the way. I was gonna
yeah,
say, it's funny though, Larry Hama, the guy who's writing the G.I. Joe: A Real American Hero, that's the continuation from the Marvel years into the IDW into now Image, like it's like
mhm.
325 issues. He's like, "I will never acknowledge that stuff, ever."
Yeah, because he's OG, right? Like he's
He's completely
very
OG,
beginning.
yeah. Which well, we can get to that in a little bit. What is your final pick, or do you think you've already kinda gotten there,
No, I'm going to talk about
Josh?
Ultimate Universe.
There we go.
Ultimate Universe is also the other universe on
Flip side
is
of the
the
coin.
universe on the Marvel side.
Yep.
The mostly like I've been really, I mean, just each of those series, I
Mhm,
was really loving um each issue that kind of comes out, because I love the thought of the backstory. I'm a I'm a what's the best way to say? I'm a fan of the maker, like
mhm, mhm.
just of
You like
how like
Evil Reed
his
Richards,
run.
just say it. You like Evil Reed Richards.
I do like he was. Yeah, I love that. I really like that storyline in the original Ultimate Universe, and now I like this revamp of this new Ultimate Universe, and I like
Mhm,
how they've done it. Ultimate Spider-Man, great
mhm.
every issue. Ultimates, great every issue. Ultimate Wolverine has been awesome.
It's been
Um,
fun. It's a fun issue.
I've been and then with the Ultimate
Ultimate one shots have
uh
been fun.
Ultimate one shots have been really fun, especially that Nick Fury one.
Yeah,
And
the Nick Fury
then
one was good, yeah. They
Ultimate
did a
Black
Hawkeye
Panther
one
has been
too.
great.
Yeah, Black Panther's great. I notice you're
But
conspicuously leaving one off this list,
I
Josh.
know it's just one I just can't get my head around. Like you, for you, it was Green Lantern. For me, it's Ultimate X-Men.
You're
I just
I
can't. I love
I
the art. I mean, the artist is great,
ours
but
are
I just can't.
beautiful. Peach Momoko, it's Peach Momoko.
Yeah. She does
Uh,
like so much like really good
yeah.
One Piece art too. But I
She's
just
a great artist, no lie. I just
yeah.
find the book, again, borders on not incomprehensible, it's not, it's just like, yeah, it's so I'm lost, and I feel the same way with the Green
Yeah.
Lantern book, I'm like, I'm just lost. It's beautiful to look at, and obviously she's very talented, but it's like, I'm kinda lost reading it, and
I just
I
had to
read it
drop
every
it.
month, and it's one of those things where I'm like, maybe if I read it collected, it'd be read better. Because the other thing about the Ultimate Universe, we've talked about this, is that each issue takes place a month later. So it's like, normally in comics, like, ends on to be continued, and it picks up right where the action left off.
Yeah.
This is like, nope. 1 month has passed. When you finish the issue, you're not. Yes, there will be sometimes flashbacks to like find out what happened, but for the most part, it's like, nope. This is a month later. It's like, oh my god, Harry revealed that he's Green Goblin or whatever. It's like,
Right.
okay,
Or
that's the
Harry and Peter have been
captured.
captured for a month.
And then, yeah, a month later, it's like, oh, we're still in the Savage Land. My suit doesn't work because we had to
Right.
fight dinosaurs. So it's interesting. So like that book though, it just I want to like it. It doesn't, and it doesn't work. And I think that's one of the reasons the Ultimate Wolverine book happened is people were like, wait, what's this? And I think that was kind of a response. Well, we still need some kind of X-Men book that really caters to X-Men fans, and that's why I think the Wolverine book happened. But I digress.
Yeah, yeah. Wolverine is really fun. I love the backstory that they have. Or just I love this little cabal that they have.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
the characters they chose, like what the Incredible Hulk, but he's like the Iron Fist Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's little
Great.
twists like that, and then the family Rasputin is
Mhm.
like they're like the main bad guys for like for
Yeah,
mutants type of thing,
yeah.
and
Well,
uh
Sunfire is the evil emperor of Japan. It's like, wait a
right.
minute, he's a hero. Wait a minute.
Right. But Sunfire, I mean, like to be honest, he's the one that makes the most sense too. You're
Yeah,
like, yeah,
he's
I think he would be a bad guy.
he's Namor, except for he's fire guy. You know what I mean? He's like the
Right,
arrogance of
pretty much.
Namor.
It's always interesting when you see Colossus is almost kind of known as like the most pure-hearted like
Yeah.
X-Men be a bad guy. Like it
Mhm.
usually happens in these other world type of
Alternate
stories.
universes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, just like ultimate in this ultimate universe, like in the Age of Apocalypse universe, he was a POS.
Oh, dude,
Uh,
that real quick, that issue in Generation Next, because he's the
yeah,
leader of that final panel, when
right.
he basically, for lack of a better, abandons his students, and like you just see one of them looking at him like, "You're really
And his
leaving us?"
wife.
Yeah, it's like, because just to save his sister, you're just like, "Oh, you're a piece of crap." Like,
Yeah.
literally, I think 'cause it's like Husk, she's looking at him like, "You're leaving us, like, to die," and, like, it's so I
He's
was
like,
like,
"Yep, peace."
I couldn't believe that. I was like, it was I mean, well, we'll save this for there's an X-Men discussion coming up later about, like, some of that stuff, but, like, that yeah, anyway, I apologize, didn't mean
I
to
mean,
interrupt you.
fine. It's just like, yeah, he's because of how pure-hearted or like
Yeah,
hero
yeah,
he is. That's why when you see like a different type of X-Men,
yeah.
he's somehow like a bad guy. Like they did that with the Wolverine Revenge book that was it Hickman and
Oh, yeah,
Capullo
the
did.
Red Band, whatever it was,
Yeah,
not Red
yeah.
Band. Yeah, it was a Wolverine Revenge. I read the Red Band version of it, but yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because he was part of like that. He was like a bad guy in that too. So it's just
yeah,
like, which is another else world or
yeah,
whatever Marvel calls it. What if
yeah,
now or
yeah,
something? I don't know.
yeah, I don't know what it is. It's not What If, it was, but it's like I don't know what it is, but I agree
It's
with
not
you.
Ultimate anymore either. So it's just like Elseworld. I don't know,
Yeah,
but uh, so yeah, but so Ultimate Universe has I think been really fun to read. I mean,
yeah.
in like Ultimate Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man book this year. I think so.
Well, it's funny, like I said, if you haven't had a chance,
Mhm.
check out JMS's, he's only a 5-issue mini, but it's
Yeah,
called Spider-Man Torn or Amazing Spider-Man Torn. Um, it's again, it's good. And I will say that to that all said, like Joe Kelly's run on Spider-Man right now, like he's the new head writer or he's the new writer on it. It's not bad. It's,
Mm,
I still don't like what they've done with the character. Like, you wanna make him this single swinging bachelor guy, and I don't like that interpretation. I did like that he was a character who grew with his audience. He went to high school, went to college,
right.
fell in love, got married. The next prodigal step should have been having kids, and we've seen that version of him, whether it's like Spider-Girl, the Tom DeFalco Spider-Girl, or, Renew Your Vows or whatever. Like, that should have been the next stage in Peter Parker's life, and to regress him back to where he was basically post college. He's dating. It's like fans don't want that. We
Mm-mm.
wanted to see him grow as a character. It's sad, and that's what we're getting with Ultimate Spider-Man. Is we're getting that. He's grown. He's he has kids. You know what I mean? He's got a beard. He's got a limp almost.
Right. And he's figuring stuff out.
Yeah,
And again, he's like figuring stuff out while being a dad instead of doing it as a teenager. And
exactly.
and then like with Spider-Man too, it's just like all the other changes in the other characters around him too. Like
Yep.
the
Yep.
what they're doing with the Sinister Six, or what
Mhm.
they did with his Uncle Ben
Yep.
that's
Oh,
alive, and
I love the
Jonah Jameson
I was gonna
is
say I
like
love
his
that
partner.
dynamic. Yeah, I love the Jonah Ben dynamic. I'm like, I think we had joked about it a while back. Like, like Superman has like one of the greatest like cat, like kind of, and same with Batman has like some of the greatest cast of characters. Like, you could do a Lois Lane miniseries and it would work. You can do a Jimmy Olsen miniseries, it would work. It's Nightwing or Robin or Batgirl or whatever. It's like they have a good enough, family of characters around them that you could make them work in their own books essentially. Spider-Man is probably the closest to that, and yet, like, for the most part, you really wouldn't read a J. Jonah Jameson miniseries or a Betty Brant one, maybe a Mary Jane one, but, like, honestly, I would read this version of J. Jonah Jameson and Ben Parker as, like, grizzled, reporters marching around the city trying to stop crime. I'm like, "Give me that as a book." I know it wouldn't sell, but damn, I'd read the hell out of it, you know?
Yeah, what's that older movie? It was with Dustin Hoffman. I think
Oh,
was it Robert Redford?
all the president's men?
Yeah, it's kind of like that, right?
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
just do like
exactly that.
you can do a movie or a book like that, and
Yeah.
or yeah, but and it's funny, you can't really do that in the current universe Spider-Man, not
No,
ultimately like the because they have like MJ is too busy having what
she's
new
Venom now.
powers, and then she's
She's
Venom,
Venom
and
and
then
Jackpot.
Jackpot, and just there it's
I think she broke up with
I
Paul
don't
though, so
understand it. I just don't understand what they're trying to make MJ happen, and it's not really happening.
yeah,
Um,
that's the thing. It will also like J. Jonah
she doesn't
Jameson, like,
need all that stuff.
yeah, it's a hat on a hat on a hat. That's the problem.
Yeah.
You know, if you did like what they did do a book where like she goes back to LA because remember she was an actress slash model in and she goes back to LA and she becomes like like a talent manager I want to say for like Mysterio. I'm like, this is kind of fun. It's stupid,
Yeah.
but it was kind of fun. But it was right in the when pandemic hit, and so like, oh, we're canceling the book, even though these 3 issues are finished. We're not even going to publish them. I was like, oh, well, that sucks. So it was like the Amazing Mary Jane was what it was called. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah. So yeah, the Ultimate Universes have been great.
Yeah,
And I think it's gonna be great in the next year too.
yeah.
But
Well, it's coming
Brett,
to
what
an end, kind of.
do you have any other best of this year?
I
Any highlights for you?
My number one book, I've been shouting this from the skies or shouting from the rooftops into the sky. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, and it's the sequel. It's called A Rite of Spring. Patrick Horbath. He also did another book called Free for All this year. This through Oni Press, I want to say. Yeah, again, I can't speak highly of this book enough, and again, the log line is just simply like Berenstain Bears meets Hannibal Lecter,
Yeah.
um, it's just great. And this book basically picks up 8 years after the previous miniseries that came out a couple years ago, where Samantha Strong is, now like, oh, the internet's a thing. Because the first book takes place in the 80s. This book takes place in the 90s. And it's like the AOL is like a thing. And suddenly, like, oh, people are using message boards like, hey, did you hear about this killer in this area? And they're like, and so it's interesting to see, like, how she responds to the fact that like, oh, people are looking for her, or at least for the victims. Yeah, I absolutely love this book. It's got about, I think, one or two issues left, but man, when it hits trade, pick it up. Pick the first one up, and then gladly wait for the second one to come out.
Didn't the character also show up in the
Was the
DCKO?
Supposedly they're in the promo art for, it's called
Mhm.
Boss Fight. So it'll be DCKO, which is the big event DC's doing right now, which is like, it's basically a no holds barred like boxing match, like wrestling match kind of thing. And in one of the promo images they put out, like it's called, it's the issue's gonna be called Boss Fight. You got like, I swear it's like characters from Mortal Kombat or like Invincible. I don't know. It's like this hodgepodge of like, and like she's one of them. I'm like, this anthropomorphic bear serial killer is like one
Right.
of the bosses they have to find. I'm like, and everyone's like, this is a joke, right? This is April Fool's. Like, no, we're serious. And we're like, Really? It's like, people don't know, are they being funny or are they being serious? But she's in the
Like,
promotional art, so we'll
yeah,
see.
in the same way, yeah, like you said, with Sub-Zero and stuff. So
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
kinda
It's like,
crazy.
okay, oh, sure, why not?
Yeah, never
Um,
think you would never think those 2 would be on the same cover or promotional art.
no, let alone in a DC crossover event, you know? But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, that again, I've been screaming about this, but I've been screaming about this book for a while now, but I really do genuinely love it. It's a great book, if, you're not into true crime or, like, serial killer, which I'm not actually, I'm not really into that, but I do like, Hannibal Lecter and that, that ilk, so it's, like, kinda feeds into that, so it's definitely worth your while. The art is great, so again,
Yeah, you were like one of the, like, few people that
early
watched
adopter.
the Hannibal show.
Oh, Hannibal's great. Have you not watched it?
I watched the 1st season.
Oh, you didn't
I
like
need
it?
to get back. I'm gonna keep go I need to try again.
Yeah, it's worth
I
it. Season 1 and 2 are phenomenal. 3 is good. It's good, and it wraps everything up, but man, 1 and 2 are, whoa, pizza
I
chef.
saw that with that episode where he was fighting the other serial killer, and the guy was doing like a wired nunchuck thing. I
I'm
was kind of
sure,
like,
yeah.
oh,
Oh,
okay.
it's like, how did this show air on on
Yeah,
NBC
NBC. Yeah,
network TV? Like, it was like, because so much of it relies on, like, not seeing what's going on, like, and you're like, what?"
yeah. Every meal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's exquisite, it's beautiful, but it's also like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Um, anyway. Well, that was some of our best stuff, Josh.
Well, do you have any more? Do you have any? I
No,
mean,
that's it. That was it for me. That's it for me.
yeah. I think just other creators in general that
Sure.
were kind of killing it this year was like,
Okay.
um, I mean, Hickman was doing great, like we said, with the Ultimate Universe. I think, uh, Jason Aaron,
Yeah.
I think was doing good. Matt Fraction, I think he had a late start to the year, but
No, his Batman book, yeah.
awesome. Yeah, he's been doing awesome. Ryan North has been great on the Fantastic Four stuff.
Yeah, I have some issues with that, which we will discuss in a few, but I will
Mhm.
say, his run on Star Trek Lower Decks, the book, has been great, and Tim Sheridan picked it up from him. And initially, I was a little shaky on Tim Sheridan, but then he did an arc that not retcon, but, like, fixed a big plot hole from Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home, that I'm like, "Okay, that was cool." And actually, I got a
Oh
chance
my
to talk to him in
goodness.
my comic shop. He just happened to be in, and we actually chatted about it. It was really cool. But yeah, Ryan North is legit. Yeah.
I think it's funny. It's like, yeah, from a plot hole in Star Trek 4 from years ago that's fixed in a comic that you Star Trek nerds have been waiting for. Um,
Y well, I mean,
I was just trolling Star Trek nerds.
oh,
Come
no,
at me
no,
in the
no, no,
comments.
you're you have every right to troll. I mean,
No,
it's
there's
dumb, but, it's
no,
valid and
it's
dumb at the same time.
any chance I
2
get
things can be equal.
to 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 you know to throw some shade at some Star Trek nerds. I'll take it.
There are dozens of us.
Dozens.
Dozens. The
But I
amount
mean
of
Kirkman
fans that
on
read comics and Star
right.
Trek.
Well, I mean, it would be. I think it would be more than you expect, but
You say, if you're speaking of, I was gonna say Kirkman is another one I've been really enjoying this year.
yeah,
I'm
Battle
glad to
Beast
see
has
him.
been great.
I was gonna say it's really nice to see him return to comics 'cause he's been it seems like he's been so wrapped up with his Skybound company and, like, getting those properties off the ground, like, in the TV arena that it's good to see him kinda return to form with because he's doing what? He's doing Capes, Skinbreaker, he's doing Battle Beast, and he's writing
Mhm.
Transformers right now, so he's putting
He
his
just
pen
came
to
out
the
with the
page.
Invincible game too, which I bet he had some
Yeah.
stuff to do with.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. Um, I really Cape says it didn't land for me. It's okay. It feels very dated. But I will say I'm enjoying Skinbreaker and I really like Battle Beast actually. Like Battle Beast is a lot of fun. It's a fun book. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's
We talk about
it's
like fun.
old
It's
school
fun.
Invincible.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect way to put it. Is
Cool.
there any other creators that have kind of been you've been enjoying?
I mean, it kind of covers it, I think this year.
Mhm.
I Wade's been great. Williamson is great. I
Yeah.
think um Jason Aaron is on the Turtles has been fun too.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
Freddie well, not Freddie Williams, it's, Freddie Williams doing the art now, I'm trying to think who's doing I forgot who's doing it. It's the guy who did the crossover with Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think, I could be wrong.
oh yeah,
I
yeah,
was
no,
just
he's awesome. He's so good
yeah, yeah.
because
Kelly
he's
Thompson.
also like
Oh,
one of the I'm sorry, the artist who's like one. He's a really big Turtles fan
oh, okay,
too.
okay.
So like he was on Red Letter Media too, talking about Ninja
Oh, yeah,
Turtles.
that's
So
right, yeah,
like
yeah, I saw him, yeah, I saw it, yeah.
he's a big
Yeah, dude,
fan.
best
So
of
he's
worst.
like
Yeah,
yeah. So I mean like he's it's fun that he's working on it because
yeah,
you can tell he's like it's like one of those like you can tell it's his dream job.
yeah. I was gonna say, I really am enjoying, Kelly Thompson on, Absolute Wonder Woman. She's been killing it over
Hmm.
there. I forget the guy who's how was it? I think it's Dan Waters. He did that 12 issues like Batman Dark Patterns. That was really good. And he did it with the same artist, Hayden Sherman, that was doing Absolute Wonder Woman. So like, it's I will say, I don't know if we're gonna really talk about this, but I will say like Marvel's been good-ish. I don't know. Haven't been really enjoying Marvel as much as I've been enjoying DC. I think DC has just had a
It's
a
been
stellar
yeah.
year, and, I say this as a Marvel kid, like, I'm really excited to see where they go in 2026. We can say that for later in the discussion, but, you know, ah, I have more critiques of Marvel than I have like of like praise. Whereas like that's the opposite for DC. I have more praise for
Right.
them than I do of critique. So
I do think I think DC kind of won out the year between the two.
yeah.
Because I mean, to be like looking at just stuff like maybe Fantastic Four and the Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, but and then the Ultimate stuff, but that's kind of it Marvel wise.
Yeah.
I mean, the other like where DC has much more like it's they have it like on their different stuff, like, Absolute
Yeah.
Universe, but also they're kinda killing it on their, regular stuff, if
Well,
that's making sense.
and on top of that, not only like they're appealing to their core fans that like love the old continuity. They're appealing to new fans with Absolute. They're also appealing to new fans by bringing back Vertigo Press. They're bringing
Yeah.
back all the Vertigo stuff. That's great too. They're also appealing like doing like Elseworld stuff as well. It's like they're firing like well, and it's like this is great. You know, we can save this discussion for later, but like I think like part of the problem with Marvel is that it used to be Marvel Comics dictated the content elsewhere, and now it's the other way around. The Marvel movies are dictating the comics content. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, but
that's
that's been
unfortunate.
happening since MCU started, though.
Yes and no. Not as to I mean, you're right, it has, and even you could argue it even goes as far back as, like, the X-Men when they were black leather and they changed, "Oh, well, new X-Men, they're gonna be wearing
Yeah.
black leather as well." You could argue that, but it didn't, like, fundamentally change the teams. It was like, it's like it was still Wolverine, Professor X is still Professor X. It it feels the other way around now. It feels like very much like, "Oh, well, if this is how it is in the movies, we've gotta replicate exactly what they're doing in the movies, or fans aren't gonna be able to tell the difference." It's like, well, that's not true.
Well,
We're
they d
kinda
s I mean, go back
look,
to way with
that's just my
yeah, yeah.
critique.
No, I'm just saying I'm just going back to, like, I think it goes way back, why didn't we see the Fantastic Four for years? Why don't we see the
Because
Inhumans right now?
Well, it's funny you should bring up Fantastic Four. That's a good example. Like they just killed off the Silver Surfer, Norrin Rad, and replaced
Right.
it with, I believe, a woman Silver Surfer. Why? Because oh well, the movies they've got a
The
female
movie,
Silver
yeah.
Surfer. Yeah, so we got to make sure that that's known. It's like you don't need to do that, man. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't have a problem with a female Silver Surfer. Like that's great, but don't do it because like this
It's
other
the
media
movie.
prop. Yeah, because the media did it or the movie did it. Like do it because it's the right move for the book. When it's
Right.
like, oh,
It's the
that
wrong
literally the
type of
book is the
synergy.
death of Silver Surfer. I'm like, well, that took the fun out of it. Like, why not actually just do it in the book and make it a thing? But anyway,
Yeah, no, this is like something we've discussed about for years. So I don't think it's like
yeah.
a 2025 thing. I think it's
No,
just
it's not a
a Marvel
2025
thing.
thing, but I just raised that of, like, why am I
Yeah,
more
yeah.
excited over Marvel versus DC? Like, this is the or
Yeah, yeah,
Marvel
yeah.
except for DC over Marvel rather. Well, here's one thing I do not like that DC has done this year, and, this is just me. I'm sure you do not agree, but Hush 2.
What are you talking about? That was my next, like, favorite book of the year.
Holy heck,
I
and
love
I
how
know
it doesn't make any sense.
I I know Derek Johnson, you're probably listening to this right now, but dude, like, I'm sorry, man. I am not enjoying
Derek
that
likes
book.
Hush too?
Oh, I don't know if he does or not, but I know we were starting to talk smack about it in an episode, and I had to turn it off because, I didn't want to hear what you had to say because I'm reading the book. I'm like, dude, it's not that good, man. Like, you better
Yeah,
just
I mean, you don't need us to tell you. Look, we don't like it. Look, here's and all this opinions on us too. Like
yeah,
when we're saying like it's bad or it's good, it's just our opinion on it. Like if
yeah,
you
it's
like,
true. It's
we'd
absolutely,
love we would love to like hear your perspective on it for
yeah,
sure. Like if you disagree with what we think, I'd love to hear like your point of
yeah.
view on it and to see because maybe it might make me see it in a different way and then kind of change
Uh,
my point of view as well. I mean, you'll
absolutely.
be wrong, but we'll see. No kidding. No, but like I would love if somebody like loves Hush
Yeah.
too. I would love for them to try to explain it.
Well,
To,
and as we've discussed before in the past, like, if you like it, don't
we're not
don't
gonna yuck your
A, get
yum.
yeah, well, A, don't get mad at us because we don't like it, but B, also, like, don't listen to us then, like and I don't mean like, "Oh, get the hell out of here," just mean like, you are entitled to like and not like what you like. Who cares what 2, random nerds on the internet are saying about it?
Right.
It's like, you know, like, just because I don't like it doesn't mean you can't. I
Yeah.
will say the art is pretty and it is Jim Lee. We can't really go wrong with Jim Lee
Yeah.
art typically. It
I
just
would love the discussion. I'd love to just to
yeah,
hear the discussion about it and just like
yeah,
just to hear the reason why you would like something that we're poo pooing.
yeah,
'Cause I would love to hear it. That's all. I
yeah.
mean,
I
I'd like
I
to hear the
I
point of view.
I mean, I've raised why I didn't like some of it, but it's still and the fact that also I love the fact that, like, it still is okay, so just for you who don't know out there, Hush 2 is the sequel to the original Hush from back in the day. It's the last arc of the 3rd volume of Batman. They recently relaunched Batman as a number 1 with Matt Fraction at the helm, and I will say that book is stellar. The problem is Jim Lee, he's notoriously cannot hit a deadline, did not meet all his deadlines, so literally there's still, like an issue or 2 to go to end, like, on issue, like, 158 or something like that, and currently there's already a number they're on issue 4 of the volume 4 of Batman. So you have like volume 3 and volume 4 of Batman concurrently because it was supposed to end with like the end of Hush 2 was going to lead into volume 4 of number
Right.
1 Batman is like nope that didn't happen. It's like you guys come on. I
It's
will
it's so hilarious
go
because
ahead.
Jim Lee's what, the creative off like, he's like,
Yeah, I mean like
the
he's like
creative
a
officer or something too? Like, he's an executive?
yeah, like this is one of those things where they should have like I don't know, like farmed this out a while ago, or I don't know. Like I get it, and that's why it's only 6 issues, not 12, because the original Hush is 12 issues long.
Yeah.
This is 6. And it's like, but like as I said before, Jim Lee notoriously cannot hit a deadline. Like it's just a known fact in the industry. And you add to the fact that he's not just an artist anymore, he's also like a CEO essentially. It's like, yeah, dude, like what were y'all thinking?
Well, it's like who can like and also, yeah, who can yell at him? Like, but it's also like, dude, these are your own deadlines that you're missing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you're you're the
You're
one that's in
literally
charge of this.
you're literally like, gonna be like 8 issues late. It's
Yeah, you're
gonna be like
screwing yourself, man.
it's pretty funny. What about you, man? What is one of your pet peeves this year, or one of the worst things you thought of this year?
So kind of what was I was not pet peeves or it just what an issue with and just what I was disappointed by this year were the
Yeah.
just
What did you have
the
an issue
comic
with?
events.
Okay.
The comic events in general, I think this year were just kind of really lacking
Okay.
compared to other years. Like Imperial was not. I mean,
Well, that was Jonathan Hickman,
I
and yeah, that was a
yeah, I was just kind of like, why is
fart
Wakanda a
noise.
cosmic? Like you have Earth, and then Wakanda is its own cosmic
Galactic
entity,
Empire.
and
Yeah.
the Galactic Empire, and then
Which does
um,
does harken back to the comic. There was that arc, the Intergalactic Empire of Wakanda, which I believe,
yeah, but it's just
what's his name? I mean, no, but I agree
why
with you.
why not
Think
be
it's
Earth? You know,
I
it's just kinda,
I agree. Imperial, I hate to say this, for a Hickman book, it was like he phoned that in. It felt like he phoned that book in.
it was
I
disjointed too, and it
The
is
one
not
shots were
even.
kind of were
Yeah,
worthless. Yeah, it was 4 issues of just like, I don't honestly, it was 4 issues of I don't care. I hate to say that, but
yeah.
it's 4 issues of I don't care.
Which and then this
Um,
is coming from me too. Like if you
yeah, I
think
know.
about it,
Oh, I know. You
me,
love the cosmic stuff,
the
especially the
like,
modern cosmic stuff.
and this had my boy Richie Rider. It had
Yeah.
Star Lord. I mean, it was just I don't. I was just kind of like, meh. Um,
It's funny. Well, let's talk about events actually, because I had written out a section we were going to talk about events. We're not going to write this episode. Still wrote it out.
yeah,
Yeah, I have to agree with you about that, Josh. Overall, and I don't say all the events, but a lot of the
no, but
events this year were just lackluster or phoned in or just felt limp, if that makes any sense. Like it was just like, you know. Um, I agree
like
with you about Imperial. Like
the
100%.
exception I think is KO because DCKO. I'm saying DCKO doesn't count because it's not finished.
It's not finished, but man, it kicked off and
It's
like
great.
it
That's
was a
why
kick.
it just doesn't help with my argument or conversation. That's why I'm really not having including
Okay.
it.
Well, like I said, we were going to discuss events anyway, but yeah, I,
Yeah,
I agree with you. DCKO so far has been really just fun. Again, fun comics. Like, like it's basically the March Madness of superheroes. Like, okay, you've
yeah.
got Superman, he's gonna fight Lobo, or
It's Mortal Kombat.
yeah, it's so fun. It's like, and at the end, they're gonna get the ultimate power and they have to fight Darkseid. It's like, fuck yeah, do it. It's gonna be
Yeah,
awesome. All right. That all said, that's still ongoing. So we can like leave that aside. How did you feel about One World Under Doom? That's I actually
I
haven't
think
read
the
the
same
last issue of that.
problem. Yeah, it's the
Okay.
same problem as Imperial. I think.
Okay.
Because it was kind of disjointed. I think there was like delays too, so that
Yeah,
didn't
there was a
help
little
it.
few delays. Well, so it
Uh,
started in I think I wanna say it started the end of 2024. I think is when it
right.
started.
So it's like the delays made it
22.
just long where you long enough where you forget about it, and then
Yeah.
like you've moved on to other like all the other books and stuff. I mean,
Well, that
I like the
was
art.
that
I
Ryan
like
North? That was Ryan North too.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean, look, it's like he tried, but his Fantastic Four was great, but just
Yeah.
One
Well,
World Under Doom, and then just it also kind of like a little bit of rehash of what we even discussed it like on the Fantastic Four life story with the
yeah.
human
Well
sacrifice type thing, and
and
just
not only
Doom
well,
being
Doom.
Doom.
Well, listen, there's a graphic novel, that came out in the '80s when Marvel would do, like, standalone graphic novels. It was like, "Hey, this is just a standalone story," and it's called Emperor Doom, and it's like, what if Doctor Doom did it? He took over the world, and if I recall, at the end of it, he's like, "This is a lot harder than I thought. Fuck this," and, like, just, like, lets it go. He's like, "This is"
Mm.
so it's already kinda rehashed a lot of that. I have heard a lot of people complain that it's just the book is a lot of fan service. I I don't think it was the worst book, but it's been better than a lot of some of the current events that Marvel has done. But I agree with you. I don't think I think delays hurt it, and I also just think that it's just retread old material. It's like cool, and like I think the lead in into it. I think we've talked about this. Was it was coming out of the Blood Ties event, or was it not Blood
I
Ties?
was about to say
Bloodline
Bloodline or
was it?
something with that was
Yeah,
kind of like
Bloodlines. Yeah, well, and the way it got is, like, Doctor Strange has to give the Sorcerer Supreme power to Doctor Doom with, like, "Okay, but when this crisis is over,
Yeah,
when the world is saved, you'll give it back to me, right?" He's like, "Yeah, totally." "Oh, but guess what? The world's not saved in my eyes." So, it was such a hackneyed way to, like, get to it. It was just like, "Oh, come
yeah.
on."
Curse your inevitable betrayal.
Yeah, Chris, yeah, who didn't see it's like literally when it happened, like, "Oh, who didn't see that coming?" You
Right.
know? Um Yeah, I agree with you. I it it wasn't the worst, but it's certainly not the best. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
been worse
It's
events that
just
Marvel has done.
again, just lackluster events this year. I mean,
Yeah.
DC, what was DC stuff? Like, what
We
other
well,
events
they
did
didn't
they
have
have?
much. This because
Right.
remember, DC's been all in the all-in stuff. The only thing they've
All
really
in
been
stuff.
focusing
Yeah.
is all in. It's like relaunching all the books and then also the Absolute Universe. Like, let's just get everything. Let's get it consistent. Let's not worry about having crossover. The one crossover they did do was We Are Yesterday, which is and the only reason that actually happened, which was that it was that crossover with World's Finest and Justice League. And the only
Right.
reason they did that was just because like the artists needed a reset. And so Mark Wade's like, okay, well, if we're gonna bring in fill-in artists, let's just do a little event that crosses over with both. But it was literally to give Dan Mora like a break. And
Yeah.
they're like, okay, we'll do a time travel one, and it's fine. It's not bad. It's fun comics. Like what if like the villains of the past like took over their minds in the future? It's like oh, I it was fun. It wasn't like oh you got to read this, but it certainly wasn't bad. It was like it was fun. It
Yeah.
just
I think, like you said, it just felt like a band aid.
yeah, it was, and which honestly, sometimes those are fine. Those are fine. It's like, oh yeah, we just need this crossover to kind of tide things over for a little bit. Cool, great, bonding together. Um, Speaking of which, this is actually one of the books and this kind of ties into one of my, I hate to say this, but one of the things I did not like this year was the X Men crossovers, which by and large also feed into the X Men books. Um, they had X Men X Manhunt, where Professor Xavier, who's been under lock and key by the government, basically goes on the run and like okay and then ends up at Krakoa and like it was like a very minimal it felt like a band-aid event. But the other
Mhm.
one which they just did right or they're in the process of finishing up is X-Men Age of Revelation, in which it's basically Age of Apocalypse light. um
Oh, yeah.
in
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so if you don't know what Age of Apocalypse is, it's one of the greatest X-Men crossovers of all time. Literally, we previously talked about like Generation Next earlier in this episode with Colossus being a piece of shit. In this event, basically Professor Xavier's son goes back in time, goes to kill Magneto because he'll think like if I kill Magneto in the past, it'll make my dad's future better. This will be great. He's crazy. Well, he accidentally kills his dad, and in the process, like F's up continuity. Like, because can you go back in time and kill your father? What happens to you? Well, it ricochets and destroys continuity. And what ends up happening is Apocalypse takes over and like, and so for a 4 month event, 5 months, all of the X-Men books, every single one of them is reset to number one with new titles. So Generation X becomes Generation Next, Cable becomes X-Man, X-Force becomes Gambit and the Externals, Uncanny X-Men becomes like the Amazing X-Men or the Astonishing. Anyway, long story short, it's like all of them reset. And it's like, it was great. It was like, oh my God,
All these
Wolverine's
different character designs too and stuff.
yes. Oh, like Wolverine is Weapon X now, and he's missing his hand. Like Cyclops is missing an eyeball. It's like this dark, dystopian future. And the only person who knows that it's effed up is Bishop because he's time displaced anyway. And so
Yeah.
it's like this whole thing. It's great. It was such a fun event.
So, a matter. I keep saying his name
Joe
wrong.
Madureira, Joe Madureira.
Madureira. Yeah,
Yeah.
like, that
Oh, he's
first
firing on all cylinders.
was it Alpha or something? The
Yeah,
first issue was
It
Alpha.
was X Men Alpha. Yep,
Yeah,
X Men
Sabretooth
Alpha.
was a good guy. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
it was
seriously, he
just
has that
all
wild child on his shoulder,
yeah.
Blink is back, and she's great. Oh, it's so much fun. So, recently, X-Men books decided to do what's called X-Men Age of Revelation, and in this case, it's like Doug Ramsey, the AKA Cypher, AKA the guy who can understand any language. That's his mutant abilities, he can understand any language.
Mhm.
He has gotten so powerful that now he can rewrite your brain by talking to you, which whatever. And he becomes a minion of Apocalypse and basically he decides to join, but even though they know he's evil, they X-Men decide to team up with him. And what this leads to is 10 years into the future, he's taken over the world. Now everything's under the control of his name is now Revelation. And so they're like, well, how are we going to fix this? So they go back in time, grab Cyclops and bring him to the future. We got to stop, him in the future, and then we can rewrite it's very like wannabe X-Men. And they
Yeah.
did the same thing where they like reset all the books. It's like, it's now the Amazing X-Men, and it's, the Expatriate X-Men, and,
Yeah.
Rogue Storm, and
There,
Radioactive Spider-Man, and all this. It's just some of it's okay, but I don't know. What do
it
you think? Have you
ju
read any of
but
it?
no, I have not, and it sounds like they're trying to Days of Future Past, Age of Apocalypse
Yes.
with a mix of, House of M. So it's like they're trying to mold all these
Yeah.
events
Into
into like
one.
these X-Men events into one.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that I hate to say this, but most of the X-Men books kind of like, I won't say they suck, but I'm not digging them. I'm a huge X-Men guy, and like I'm just like, it feels like the X-Men it has been on life support since like, basically since Hickman kind of left the Hickman left after Krakoa, and even like the Krakoa stuff
Yeah.
out. Some of it was good, some of it was bad, but like it just feels like the X-Men have just been like floundering for years almost.
I do not know why they took him out of Krakoa, and I mean, it should have been great, like, Gail Simone was on a book,
Yeah.
and then
I love Gail Simone, but that
yeah,
I
no,
don't
it
really care.
just wasn't working. Like, when they
It's
have
not working.
they have what they it was like in the 2 main X-Men teams out of Krakoa, and then,
Uh-huh.
like, within the, I don't know, first 6 months, they're already having, like, a fight in the war.
Yeah.
It's like, "Come
Yeah.
on."
Yeah. I genuinely love the X-Men. I am a product of the 90s. Like, to me, like, 90s X-Men is like peak X-Men, with the cartoon and the relaunch of X-Men #1 and all
Yeah.
that. It was like, it's so good. And it's just like, I don't wanna say it feels try hard, but it just feels, again, it feels disjointed, and just like they don't know what they wanna do with it. And this extends, like I said, I ironically enough, I'm actually, this is so weird, but I'm a big Doug Ramsey fan. Like, I love the fact that his mutant ability was the fact that he could just understand any language, and yet he was
Yeah.
still a hero. He was still like, and then he dies a hero in the original New Mutants book back in the 80s. Of course, they brought him back as a warlock and all that stuff.
Right.
And then Krakoa after that. But it's like to see him like being manipulated into like this apocalypse minion that's like evil. It's like, come on, what are you doing here, man? I don't know. I've heard that a reset is coming soon for X-Men, and we'll see. It's just it feels
Another
like
one.
another one. Exactly. It's again another reset, which is one of my worst trends that we're going to talk about later on. But it's like I was like, come on, guys, get it together. But anyway, I digress. X-Men comics have not been nailing it for me. Is there any other books in particular you're not excited about, or we're not excited about this year?
Oh, one I was just not really happy with was the Spider-Man Wolverine book.
Really? Why is
I
that? If
did
you don't mind
not
me
like
asking.
it. I
Was
did
it the
not
art? Was it the story, or what was it?
the story, like, right away, you're like, so I'm gonna be honest, anytime you mention or bring in Peter Parker's parents,
Uh,
everything gets so convoluted, and
oh, I
it's
know.
so,
I know. I
like,
know exactly what
they're
you're talking about.
age like, 3 types of agents, and now, like, Wolverine supposedly is the one that killed his parents, and, like,
I
I'm
oh,
out. I'm out.
I absolutely agree with you. It's funny. I'm still reading that series. It's only gonna be 10 issues total. But yeah, when I'm like, they reveal to be basically, or they infer very heavily that
Yeah.
Wolverine was responsible for the deaths, as in he murdered Richard and
May
Richard Park. Not May. Is it May? Was it May?
Not
Was it? It
May,
was
what am I thinking? Because Aunt May, I
anyway.
don't know.
I think it's well because you've read the Trouble miniseries, which May Parker was.
Oh, don't again.
Anyway, the implication being that Wolverine straight up when his Team X or Weapon X days, he kills both of Peter Parker's parents because they were secret agents for, I don't want to say Shield, but for the CIA or something like that. And it's like, and then of course Peter Parker sees the video and he goes nuts and just tries to beat the hell out of of Wolverine, like killing him. It's like we all know. It's like as fans, we're like, we all know Wolverine didn't kill him. Like, it's like
Right.
we know. It's like there's no like, oh, like it's like the dramatic tension. You're just like, no, we know that didn't happen. We know it's gonna be some clever twist. It's like almost like a false, like, it's like a false step. I don't know what the word is, but like I do agree with you. I agree with you with what you're getting at. It's like, well, we know that's not true. We know it, and Peter's acting completely bonkers insane. You know what I mean? Like, right?
I
Or is it
dropped
me?
off the issue. I was like, I'm done. I just
No.
can't.
Which, of course, I think around the fifth, fourth or fifth issue, they reveal, oh
Yeah.
yeah, the it was manipulated, so like the key moments were clipped out of it, so you didn't see him actually trying to save them or something like that. It was like, yeah, I agree with you, man. I think
Mm.
it was that bad, but definitely, I do agree with you.
I was just I was out. I'm done. I don't have the patience, the energy, or
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
just
I well, it's like we only have so much time to read comics. Like, we shouldn't be wasting time on stuff that we do not like. Spe-
right.
well,
And I mean, the art was okay, but it was
it's okay.
just
It was it Carrie Andrews, or am I thinking, or am I it looked like Carrie Andrews, I don't know. I don't
who
remember.
was it?
It's fine.
Yeah, it's Andrews. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Um, I will say, like, you know, it's it's fine. If you don't like that though, I do recommend though, Josh, you might like, is the Deadpool Wolverine miniseries that happened, like the 10 issues they just did.
Hmm.
It was very throwback to like the 90s Wolverine, and Deadpool. So, if
Okay, yeah,
that might be worth your time. Yeah, check out the first issue of that. Yeah, I agree with you though. I stuck with it just because 'cause I'm like, well, I wanna see how this plays out, even though, again, like I said, we know, like, how that's all gonna end.
right, right. So,
'Cause I'm a lemming.
yeah. What about so I think you have another one, right?
I have
It's
one last one, and it's
yeah,
Star Wars comics. Have you been reading any of the modern Star Wars comics?
not at all.
Yeah, you're not missing anything. I was actually talking to 2
Yeah.
of my old producers from Nerdist today about it, and it's funny, Star Wars comics were hot. Man, when they came out and Jason
Yeah.
Aaron was doing it, and John Cassidy, and then all those artists, it's like those first, like, 60 issues or so of, like, Star Wars comics post, the Disney the Disney relaunch and all that, Deep Six and all the old Legends canons, like, it was great. And now I I have nothing good to say, so I'm not gonna say anything at all. Um, I literally have nothing good to say about him, and I
Hmm.
and I don't mean that to disrespect the creative teams or because like Phil Noto's doing the art. Okay, I guess I do have something to say. Phil Noto's doing the art, and he's always fun to he's a fun artist, but like I just there's continuity issues, there's like discrepancies. At one point, like there's like the Battle of Jakku. We have to worry. We're that's coming soon. It's like, well, wait a minute. How would you know it's the Battle of Jakku? Like that hasn't even happened yet. Like why are you referencing
Yeah.
a future
How do you
event
reference it?
a battle that hasn't even occurred yet. Like, it's like it's stuff like that. It's just like it's just like I don't know if the editorials like you completely just dropped the ball. Like, here's the other thing I referenced this with my producers is like there's a Jedi Knights comic where Qui Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan have to go to this planet to fight some basically monsters. Turns out they're giant kaiju, and not only are they giant kaiju monsters, they are in canon in the Star Wars universe called kaijura.
Oh my god.
And so I'm not sure if that's just lazy writing or a writer who
Mhm.
thinks they're very clever. You know what I mean? Like, and it's either way, it's not good. But yeah, I hate to say it, but I've kind of Star Wars went from one of those comics where I'm like, I'm buying every, I know it doesn't matter, I'm buying every miniseries and I'm going to buy every like offshoot and, all that to like, I'm barely buying the mainline book and that's probably going to drop pretty shortly. So,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Well,
yeah. Well,
that's a
anyway,
bummer. That's a
it
bummer
is.
too.
It is.
I think
Well,
that's I think it's
go ahead.
why it just hurts more because it's just such big fans of it, and it's just a bummer.
Well, it sucks because, like, it started off so strong. Those Star Wars, like the Darth Vader book and the Star Wars book, they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, they are so good. Those, like, first, like and then, of course, like, that thing where it's like, "Oh, we're gonna relaunch it again, and then we're gonna relaunch it again, and then we're gonna relaunch it again." And it's like, "Dude, stop.
Yeah.
Stop
Stop
that."
it. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that, which that's one of my pet peeves, we'll talk about trends when we get to it.
That's so, one book I don't I just couldn't stay with, and I just it got some controversy too, was the Christopher Priest, the Black Panther, The World to Me, the
Oh, The
Marvel
World to
Knights.
Come.
Yeah, The World
Really?
to Come, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, you
I don't
didn't
know,
dig it?
maybe I dropped out too early on it, but I
Okay.
just it like, it had so many, um and maybe I'm just, like, I'm a dummy, but when you have, like, 3 different timelines going in a
Yeah.
book
I get
and
you, I get
and what he was trying to do with I mean, I love Christopher Priest, and we all
Yeah.
have said, like, his
Yeah, Blizz Black Panther
Black
book
Panther
originally
run,
was,
yeah,
yeah,
it's, like, a
phenomenal.
seminal run, but I just was I didn't I just couldn't keep up with it. I didn't like, the first issue
That's a hell of a
with
shocker ending, by the way.
yeah, which I was just kinda like, "Okay, um, why?" And I
Well,
guess I probably get into it more and better, but I just
I
maybe I need to get back into it, but I was
I
just
think
one of
wait
my,
until
like,
it's collected because you're not wrong in the sense that it is telling that at the end of every issue is 3 to 4 pages, I feel, dedicated to explaining the timelines up to this point. Like, oh, in this issue, this happened with,
yeah,
Ross, and then this issue happened with this, so you're not wrong. I I guess I give a lot of leeway to Priest, and especially with, Joe Quesada's art is beautiful in it too. I get a lot of
yeah,
leeway to Priest, especially when it comes to Black Panther because his Black Panther run was so
yeah,
good. I would say though, because so ironically enough, that was on the border of like whether or not I was going to put it on my top list of like top
mhm,
books. I would say wait until it finishes and try to read it again and collect it and see if that changes. And if not, dude, again, you don't have to
yeah,
like
yeah, no, I
everything I
definitely
like.
will. I just
Yeah.
that first issue was just kinda like it was like Grant Morrison to me without the flair.
Okay. Fair
I
enough.
think that was
Okay.
I don't know,
Well, I
I
haven't
was
had a
feeling
chance to, but have you read any of the others? Because there's the Punisher book. Because there's like 3 Punisher books right now. Did you read the Marvel Knights Punisher book that came out, as well? That's set in that same kind of weird Marvel Knights
no,
offshoot, but
no.
still in the main continuity. I don't get it. Or no?
No, no, I haven't, so yeah,
Okay. So check out.
I'm behind
It's
on that,
it's
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, that's good to know. Like I said, I would say, wait till it's all collected and try it again.
Yeah,
And
no,
if
I'll
not,
give it
then
another chance, yeah, if you're saying to give it another chance, I will. I just I had dropped it. I was
yeah, yeah, yeah. I wonder too if it reads better, and no one's asking to do this.
I bet it would.
If it reads better to do like reread, the Priest run of Black Panther, it's 60 issues, and then go into it because it's clearly he's building on that story.
Only,
It's like,
only
you know,
60 issues.
it's a light,
No, no,
it's not like they're
it's a light
it's not like they're
60.
it's not like they're dense,
Yeah,
geopolitical conflicts within the Marvel universe, like it's not
right.
like they're anything. Yeah. Oh god, those are reads, and I mean that in a good way, but they are reads,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do think that this is sort of like an addendum Watts of that whole thing, but, yeah, it's interesting. Okay, well, good to know, good to
I'll
know.
give hey, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a retry. I just had to jump
See,
out
I
for
appreciate that
that.
about you, Josh, is you're always willing to give it a second chance, and you know what?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, I ain't gonna insist you do it again. Be like, "No, okay, not for you.
Yeah.
Not for you, sir."
Not my Black Panther. Nuh-uh.
Even though it's the same people that
I know, exactly. I don't know why I don't know why I said that. I'm just like, "Eh."
Dude, I love that when people, "That's not my Captain
I hate
Marvel."
that so much. God,
Uh,
it's so us nerds are the best and
we're
also
the
the
we're the
worst people.
worst. We're the worst. You know, there's a certain amount of self-awareness with it, but, like, yeah, I have to admit, like, I love doing that, like, yeah, Captain Marvel, she's not, Carol Danvers ain't my Captain Marvel, it's Monica Rambeau or nothing. You're
Red
like, "Wait,
Bimbo,
what?"
yeah.
You're like,
God.
"Wait, what?" Yeah. Spectrum? Yeah, she's my captain. Well, and, again, but I mean, there is a certain amount of that. Like, where we do have like an ownership of like, we have our own, like, so like I said, Kyle Rayner for is my Green Lantern, Wally West is my Flash,
Oh,
I
totally.
personally love Connor Hawk as Green Arrow.
Totally. It's just more of just like when like I don't know, just like little changes and people are just like making way out of proportion
It's
or
so
even like
stupid.
the when people cast in movies a
Oh,
character in a different race or something. That's when I'm like,
oh
"Oh my
God.
god, people, come
Which
on."
which that really said, I'm really excited for the Wonder Man miniseries. Like,
Yeah.
I'm 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 on board. I'm color me excited. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Anything
Doctor
with
Doctor
ti
Manhattan's gonna be Wonder Man. I'm all about
yeah.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, how powerful can this actor be? Seriously.
Yeah.
And he's Black Manta.
Oh, that's right, he's Black Manta as well, that's right. Forgot about that. Well, speaking of movies, what were some of the best movies, superhero-related movies that you saw, or super movies or shows
Or even
that you
just what
saw
was your
this year?
favorite? What was your
Oh,
favorite this year?
honestly, I mean this with all sincerity, that I kind of hold Thunderbolts FF and Superman kind of
Mhm.
on an equal platform. If I had to maybe pick one over all of them, maybe the Thunderbolts. The
Oh,
only
wow.
thing I did not like about the Thunderbolts was the weird jump that US Agent makes when they're in the shaft, where he jumps like a
Yeah, that
million
didn't make
miles
any
into the air.
sense.
Like, where the hell did that superpower come? And then he, like, lands, and I'm like, "You should be dead, dude."
Right.
Like, other than that, like, that was the weirdest thing. Other than that, I absolutely love that movie. I just recently rewatched it with my wife and my son,
Mhm.
on Disney Plus. I was like, that was really fun, man.
Oh,
Like, I really enjoyed it.
especially, like, like, this now time, so you watch, um, a Hawkeye, miniseries, and then you go into Thunderbolts,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the Elena.
The
You
Elena
do, like,
Belova, yeah.
Black Widow, Hawkeye, and then, Thunderbolts, like the Elena trilogy.
Yeah. I really, really liked it. Like, I think someone described it as like the Breakfast Club of superheroes. I'm like, yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
kind of was. I love that, like at the end they save him by hugging him. Like that was how they saved him. I was
yeah,
like, it's like that's kind of brilliant. It was what Suicide Squad wanted to be and not, because it was like it pointed out like we just are a bunch of dudes who punch hard and shoot. We're nothing against this guy's a god. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
um I did like the FF. I really did like Superman, but if I had to like really pick one, because like also the other thing with those Thunderbolts characters is I wasn't attached to really any of them. Like I didn't care about half of them. I certainly didn't like, US Agent in the Cap series or the Falcon and Bucky show. Like a lot of the characters I did care. Like this show made me kind of care about all of them, or this movie rather, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah, elevated
Yeah.
their
What?
prestige, if that's the
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
word?
Yeah, but of the movies, I would say if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Thunderbolts. Like, I think it was just for me personally. What about you?
I think for me, out of
Mm,
all of them, Thunderbolts is great.
mhm,
I liked Fantastic Four, but I think Superman was kinda my favorite of the
mhm.
year. I think
That's totally
just
fine. Totally.
rewatching them,
Yeah.
and everything, I, like, rewatched Fantastic Four, and it was fun, but it was also, like, I was realizing, like, kinda rushed a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, they did. I did like the aesthetics of it. Like, I like that they
Oh,
set in the
yeah.
'60s and all that, and that they were
I think
hopeful heroes.
I think the best thing from Fantastic Four is I want to see them in the new Doomsday movie coming out.
Yeah,
But Superman, I thought was very fun. I
yeah.
mean, James Gunn was great. But James
You were
Gunn, I
just
think
happy to
is
see Guy Gardner on the screen.
oh
That's
for
all. Come on.
sure. No, Nathan Fillion killed it as Guy Gardner for a guy who's been like kind of synonymous with Hal Jordan for years,
Yeah.
doing
Yeah,
like his
yeah, yeah.
voice and stuff. He killed it as Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
I think he was amazing. But also, like, I'm a little worried James Gunn is starting to get into Christopher Nolan territory in a sense of
Okay.
like Christopher Nolan. I mean, Christopher Nolan, the Batman. So like Christopher Nolan, the Batman Begins, amazing. Batman
Uh-huh.
Dark Knight, I mean, was great. It was, of course, directorially amazing,
Yeah. Yeah.
but some of the writing, you're kind of like it's mainly dialogue stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, ooh, and then the rises there's again dialogue stuff, and then also just things. I think I'm I trust James Gunn. He's
Uh-huh.
great, but also I'm just worried with some of the dialogue in those movies. It's just like it's what do I what's the best way to like it's the secondary like extra characters
Yeah.
where you start doing more and more of your friends and they're more and more not great actors, and it's like,
Oh, I
oh,
see
you
what
could
you're
have
saying.
better people in it,
Uh-huh.
and just kind of like doing these little jokes and there's fun most of the time, but it's like
It gets a little old after a
takes
while.
me
It's like
out
a
of it.
one-trick pony, yeah. Well, if that's the case, I didn't get a chance to watch it. What did you think of the 2nd season of Peacemaker? Because he kind
I
of not did he write and direct almost all of that?
I mean, pretty much. I mean, he kind of writes and directs. I mean, he definitely writes most of it. I don't know if he directed most of it.
Mhm.
but it was fun. It was a fun series.
Mhm.
It was a good follow up to the first season. I think it was somewhat better than the first season. It was just one episode too long.
Okay, I was gonna say I liked the first season, and I only watched, like, the basically the recap of season
Mhm.
2 or season 1 where it was like and I loved what he did where he was like, "Oh," he just, like, retconned his own show.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
I did like that. I was like, "Oh, that's cute, that's cute." I was like, "Yeah, we're just gonna ignore it. Alright, that's fine. That's cool." But I
Yeah.
just haven't had time to watch season 2 yet.
No, season 2 was fun. It was one episode too long. Like
Mhm.
they did the fun multiverse thing. There's some fun cameos and stuff, and
Okay.
a good not it was like it was a twist, but it was also kind of an obvious twist, but it was still a good one.
Okay.
And like they had one more they're setting up for I don't know if we can spoil it, if you want me to
No,
spoil
it's
it
not
for
spoil
you.
it's not spoil 'cause I do wanna watch it.
So it's not spoil it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, the ending of it leads into like another storyline that I don't even know if they're even gonna get to it or how
Mhm.
they will get to it. But
Okay.
I mean John Cena was great in it and all
Yeah.
the other characters are great in it. I mean, I like Steve Agee, but
Mm.
he's it's kind of enough. But
Mhm. Okay.
it was fun, and I mean it continued from the Superman movie and
Okay.
in that world too, so it was good.
Alright. I will say the other show I did like, I really enjoyed Daredevil Born Again, even though it
Mhm.
was not born again from the comics, but I get what they were going for. But I with the exception of the opening scene from it, man, that opening scene for the first episode, I was like, "Oh god," it was not good.
Mhm.
Like, it was not shot well, it did not look well. Once it's like they got that out of their system, "Okay, here's your one-shot fight scene," and it was like, oh, it felt so digital and
Yeah, like, didn't need to, they're just
yeah. Once I got that out of their system, I was like, I really enjoyed the rest of it, but yeah. Um,
I'm excited for the next season.
Same here.
Yeah, so I think that did well in with that.
Mhm. Was there anything that didn't land for you in terms of like, like there was Ironheart and Cap 4 and, was any of that did that land or was that just like or do we
Y
even talk about it?
No, I mean, like, I generally liked Cap 4. I think it was just it had more potential than
Mhm.
it met. Like,
Yeah.
the leader could have been a lot
Mhm.
more, I don't know, menacing. It's just it was just kind of like, it needed more. I mean, it had the like, behind the scenes trouble that
Yeah.
affected the movie,
Yep.
and, uh, that was, I think that's what plagued it, the
Mhm.
most, and
Yeah.
I think it's definitely, like, it would have been a better movie if they had another shot at it,
Yeah.
or, like, what they're trying to, like, originally do. Like, with Giancarlo Esposito, it kinda
Mm.
seems like a waste of,
It
that
was a
type
waste
of
of him. It
the
was a waste of him.
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It was a throw he was in a throwaway role, you know?
yeah.
I will say it's kinda sad. I know they're and spoiler to anybody who's curious about Doomsday, but it's pretty apparent they're bringing, Chris Evans back as Captain America. It's like, man, Anthony Mackie done
Oh, I didn't
dirty.
know that. I
Are
didn't
you
know that.
serious? Is
Yeah.
it? Oh, well,
I've
shit.
been staying away from spoilers until the
Well, I'm
trailer.
saying that's what it seems like. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what it
Uh,
seems like. That's I don't know, but
isn't he
that's what it
old?
seems. I don't know. I don't know anything. I just it seems like everyone's like
Yeah.
talking about it's like whether it's AI generated content or not. It's just like I've been seeing like it
Mhm.
was like, but that's what it's supposedly happening. I could be wrong. So maybe we can
Yeah.
just you know,
Yeah.
you want to delete that out?
Nice try to backtrack. No, that's fine.
No,
It's
no, I'm
fine. It's
serious. I'm being very serious. I do
Oh, yeah,
not
no, no,
know.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I
I'm
don't
kidding.
know.
I'm kidding.
Like
Yeah. No, it's fine. I'm gonna learn about it in, like, the next 2 days anyway.
okay, well, I was gonna say I haven't even watched the Supergirl trailer yet. I
Oh,
don't
yeah, okay.
because as I said before, like I gave up on watching trailers and all that. I
Right.
spent the last 10, 15 years of my life dissecting trailers frame by frame. So I just kind of don't care anymore. And so when I
Mhm.
say I don't know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know, you know.
No, it's all good. Just
So
kinda hurt my heart. That's fine. No, it's I'm kidding. I'm just joking. Or jokes
I just
here.
So, everybody, I just killed Josh on the other end of the podcast, and I
Yeah.
apologize. Well, let's move on from there on that
Well,
sour note.
I want to talk about Ironheart though too, because I think that
Okay,
was
please,
also a show that had more potential, but I
Uh-huh.
just they didn't make the character redeemable.
Uh,
I was not like it's so funny. So like the whole show, she
mhm,
talks about, and again, I don't know if you're gonna watch this, so I don't want to
mm. I will tell
do
you right
this
now, I'm not
spoiler.
going to watch it, so you can spoil the hell out of it, because I also know
Okay,
the big spoiler at the end, I found that
yeah,
out
I mean,
myself.
which was fine. I mean, look,
Well, it's
I
funny,
liked
look.
the finally Mephisto.
Yeah, but
Finally,
I was gonna say, but it's funny, like, fans have been clamoring for that for, like, the last, like, 5 years, and they finally did it, and, like, it's not even a peep. It wasn't even a
yeah,
blip. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
people have
how
been waiting
meh it
for that.
was. And
You
I
know?
mean, it could potentially do more, but I mean, it's just kind of, I was just, is she, the character choice, like the character choices of Riri, it was just not, I mean,
Mhm,
she was like the most selfish hero, it seemed like.
mhm, mhm,
And, like, what was one point? She keeps talking about like, I want to be like Tony Stark, but without the $1 billion. Like Tony Stark has $1 billion. Like I'm like basically she's like trying to say like she's better than him. Like he has the
uh-huh,
money, but I'm smarter. When it's like the whole like they just everybody kind of just reminds me like he built this in a cave with a box
uh-huh.
of
With the
scraps.
scraps.
Which so I mean just her she wants to have all this money and stuff. So they show kind of like her like developing some of these inventions in MIT. It's like if you could have sold this off and gotten a lot of money and not like there's like a personal like force field that's like power. It's just things like
Yeah,
that and just like constant choices that the character makes and
they're questionable.
all yeah, it's just kind of like I don't know, maybe again maybe I'm just seeing it in the wrong light, more traditional light or something, but
Yeah, uh,
I just don't, it was hard to root for her.
I see.
Where and then the hood was
Oh, the Hood was the villain in that? Oh,
he was
man.
yeah,
Was Parker
yeah,
Robbins? Wow.
Parker Robbins. So,
Did he have the
uh
hood, or was he, like,
yeah,
magical,
yeah, no,
or
that was the whole that's how we got Mephisto basically,
Oh, okay. Alright.
because he got it from Mephisto and stuff. So, I
Okay,
mean,
wow. Maybe I'll just read the synopsis or something like that. I'm like, "Oh, that's
they
cool,"
do like
because
a
I
recap on YouTube. I like
yeah,
Parker Robbins. I thought
I was gonna say I
he's
do. I was
yeah.
he's a piece of shit. That's why I kinda like him.
Yeah, and then the actor who plays him is really good too. It's
Oh,
just
cool,
kind
okay.
of it's the guy from like Hamilton and he was in the latest Transformers movie.
Okay.
Um
Well, maybe I'll catch a recap or something like that.
yeah, it's just again, it's I was excited for the show and then I
Oh,
was just kind of disappointed.
okay. Well, that's good to know.
Again, a
Uh,
waste of the character and those actors. I think like just like in Cap, like Anthony I loved Anthony Mackie
mhm.
as like he is Captain America. Like
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah,
But it's just kind of again the behind the scenes stuff kind of wasted his movie.
yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. Yeah. Well, interesting. Well, we'll see what happens when, all these trailers start dropping soon and see, where all this lands and where the MCU is gonna be heading.
Yeah.
I I am, I am lightly excited for where the MCU is kinda going in the next couple of years. It feels like, Phase 4 was a hard botch. Phase
Mhm.
5 had moments, but, there's moments in Phase 4 too, but overall, like, the last, like, since, like, basically Endgame-ish, it's been Marvel's been trying to figure out their footing and lost a lot of goodwill with the fans, and it feels like they still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Um,
I think they are hiring the wrong people to do their shows
oh,
and
yeah.
movies.
Well, the thing is that they were rushing. They had to get so much content out for,
Yeah.
like I said, and we talked about this before, the Disney Plus of it all trying to rush content out, like making should have been TV shows that should have just been movies. The pandemic didn't help any of it all. The
Right.
Jonathan Majors and all that didn't help anything of it all. They're having to rejigger everything. So, I'm sure even like the Fox buyout where suddenly we have the X-Men characters now, that didn't help anything. Like, oh, we got to redo everything. So, who knows? Um, let's talk about some things that we did like real quick, just like some of the trends over the last year that, and uh these don't have to be long, but just like, some of the things that were like that made us happy to
I think
see.
I think the trend with what, we were thinking of, like, or the trend, but the subject line is really just like, affordability and, like, efficiency.
It's funny, yeah, that's really should be the trend of this. It's exactly that. Because like I wrote down like the compact graphic novels that they've been doing. DC was the one who kind of broke ground with that by putting out those 9.99, compact manga sized trades that are great. Like New Frontier for $10. Yeah, when an
Yeah.
issue nowadays costs on average 4.99, you can buy what would cost you two issues of for a comic book, or buy this trade of V for Vendetta, or Batman Hush, or The Long Halloween, or like I said, New Frontier, or American, Vampire, or what I mean? Like there's so many that they're just pumping these things out. I'm like, do more of that. Put it on newsprint, make a crappy copy, and just get it out there. I'm buying books of this that I already have in trade because it's easier for me to carry around. And again, as I said, it's essentially $2, or not $2, 2 modern issues rather, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, it's like I picked up the Catwoman one though, the Ed Brubaker one with Darwin Cook. I haven't read that in years. I'm like, "Oh, this is $10." I burn, and, if you have a local comic shop that gives you a discount, it's even cheaper. I ripped through that thing. I'm like, "Yeah," and it got soaked and, sat on and bent and all that. I'm like, "I don't care. It's whatever. I'll give it to a kid who wants it after this."
Yeah.
I love this trend, and I hate to say it, but Marvel missed the boat. They tried to do their own, but they're doing the premiere edition, which is still like it's a little bit bigger with quote unquote better paper, but it's $15. I'm like, oh, you
Ooh,
guys,
yeah, no.
you missed. And it's funny because now all the companies are doing that. I think like Oni Press is going to be doing a Rick and Morty one for 9.99. I think Image is pushing out Invincible and Paper Girl versions of this. I think they might be $15 as well. But everyone's like, this is the thing now. Like manga is slowly overtaking all of our sales. We need to compete with them. Well, this is how you compete with them. You make it affordable at the manga price, at the manga size. You know what I mean? And I love it.
Yeah.
Do more. Make it disposable. That's what comic books were inherently, is they were disposable medium. And if people want like the bigger like hardcovers, you can buy those. Get them, get the absolute editions or whatever. But like if you're just looking for trash reading,
Yeah,
this is
quick story.
perfect. Yeah, perfect.
A pump and
Um,
dump.
yeah, basically, tangential to that, like the other thing I've been noticing, like at least with local comic shops, is a lot more comic shops are doing dollar bins. We used to be quarter bins back in the day, but they're doing dollar bins. And again, same thing. Like I can pick up 5 issues of Superman for a buck, or like a buck each, or I can pick up a modern Superman book. It's like, wow, especially like 90s Superman where those things are packed. I'm like, let's
Yeah, yeah.
keep that trend rolling, man. Like, get those books out there, you know?
Yeah,
I love that trend. Go
I
ahead.
think too, like, a lot more comic book shops are embracing the free comic book day. I know it's been, like, bigger and stuff and through, but, like, I've been seeing more shops doing, like, making an event out of it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, come for signings and, free this and
Yeah.
cosplay contests and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, my local shop, they make it it's like a mini,
Con almost.
Comic-Con almost,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
that's
pretty
great.
crazy.
Um, Piggyback on all that, the other thing I've been really liking, this again, a lot of this stuff bleeds over into 2024 and even beyond. Like the next thing I was going to talk about is compendiums. I was talking to you while you were on vacation last couple of days or whatever you were doing. I was
Whatever I
reading.
was doing.
I don't know. I don't know what you tell. I don't know what you
No, I
told
was on
work.
vacation. That's fine.
Maybe you were sick. I was sick. I don't know. I assume.
You you're on vacation or whatever it was that you were doing that you told me. I don't believe.
Well, it's not that. It's just like I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
someone's
know.
like, who's
Eh,
like, did he call in sick for that? I don't want to mess up your days, dude. But yeah, I picked up the was it the compendium of GI Joe's Volume 1 and 2, and those are like 50 issues. It's like my wife, she walked in, she's like, "What the hell is that? That's bigger than a Bible." I'm like, I know, it's 1,300 pages, but it's like 50 issues. You get your bang for your buck on that, especially you pick it up on a sale on Amazon or at your local comic shop. It's like, crap, like you're getting essentially an issue for 75 cents. And it's like, this is great. Yeah, it's big as a brick, but man, it's I never know. I was like, this is I'm like on issue like 58 of G.I. Joe right now. So yeah, I love this trend. Keep this rolling. Again, you said affordability. Yeah. You've got this huge library of content. There's no reason we should be gatekeeping it.
Yeah, it's the best way. I mean, the best way to get people into comics is to have it be affordable. No one's gonna
Yes.
pay, like, top price for getting into a new,
Yeah.
hobby like
Yeah.
that, so
Well, it's like you said, it's like, it's like, can you imagine a kid like trying to buy, an issue of Batman for $5? It's like, oh, that's asking a lot of a kid right there, you know?
yeah, it's most of or half of your allowance right there.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, you really do need to like keep that in mind because you have to, it's like they always say, get them young. It's like, it's true though, you got to get them young. If they want to build a fan out. If not, you're gonna cannibalize your current audience, and then you're not gonna have an audience after that. So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway. The only other thing I want to talk about is the treasury editions. Those are those oversized comics that are like even bigger than magazines. They're like full on, like a foot and a half, like tall and like a
Mhm.
foot wide. I love that they're like bringing those back. Yeah, they're like 10, 15 bucks an issue. But man, I love that. I love those. Like, just it's so much fun to just read this giant newspaper sized comic book. It's just fun.
Didn't they
That's
do that with, Superman?
yeah, they did a
Uh,
Superman Summer of Superman book they did
yeah.
recently. They did, I think for all the Hush issues, they've been doing that, and I believe they've been doing that for Skinbreaker, which is, Kirkman's book that he's doing over at Image, and so I'm like, yeah, it's like it's print on newsprint, it's just big and thick, and it's a beefy boy, but man, is it fun, like, we need more of those. You shouldn't do it for everything, but like if there's a special event or a special reason to do it, please do more of that. It's a novelty at best, but it's still a fun novelty. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. Was there any other trends I missed, or do you think that's kind of a
No,
good
no, I think the best trends right now, yeah, like you said, is affordability and
affordability?
efficiency, and also a little bit of fun with those
Yeah.
big issues. Like, I bet people though, like, yes, those are cool and everything, but I bet they're just not fun. Like, because this is a big thing too. Like with my wife, the shelf look.
Oh yeah, the shelf look
Like,
is a big.
like they
Yeah.
they aren't the
They
same
don't fit.
size as the other books, so
They don't fit in a long box.
they don't fit. No, they don't fit a long box, and then if you have them on your shelf, they just look out of place.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like the original like crossover Superman and Spider-Man, like, Superman and Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man, Superman, and all those were done in those like
Mhm,
oversized digest edition, or not digest, rather, oversized treasury editions, rather. Um, so I think it's a nice throwback to the past. But yeah.
mhm,
One thing I have not liked, and I think Josh, you're gonna probably be on the same page with me, is I'm not enjoying the trend, and this is not a recent thing, but it seems to happen a lot, is the trend of relaunching with number ones.
mhm.
Especially when it's the same creative team, for lack of a better word. You talked about the Fantastic Four, how Ryan North is killing it. I agree with you. The thing is, he was the writer on the previous relaunch.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like, I'm like, wait a minute here. I mean, I hate to say, it, but they did the same thing with Mark Waid when he was doing Daredevil. So it's like, okay, I'm pot kind of call it kettle black. But like, I think like Jed McKay, they're about to relaunch Moon Knight again. I swear to God, this is the fourth relaunch of Moon Knight
Yeah.
with him at the helm. Like,
It's what DC does this all the time too, with the Rebirth and 52 and
yeah, I I,
all
I
that stuff
give them
too.
a little less. I give them a little more leeway because, like, okay, like if I pull up right now, Action Comics has been relaunched twice. There was the original run from Action Comics #1 through issue 904. Then they did the New 52 relaunch, which was issues 1 through 52, and then they relaunched it again, picked up the old numbering, so it's like issue 958 through, wherever it is, like right now, 1095. So I'm like, that's fine. Okay, like, the New 52 was a whole thing, and then you wanted to get away from that, so you relaunched for a third time. I'll let some of that slide. But like, look at Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man, and I'm gonna pull this up right now. Amazing Spider-Man has been relaunched how many times over the last like years? Because there was the original series from '63, you know, hold on, I'm gonna pull it up. I gotta know. I got to know. Okay, so there was
I don't know.
63 or 62 rather. Then they relaunched it in 98 with John Byrne. Then they relaunched it again in 2014. That was with Dan Slott. And then they relaunched it again in 2015 with Dan Slott. Then they relaunched it again in 2018 with Nick Spencer. Then they relaunched it again in 2022 with Zeb Wells. And then they just recently relaunched it with Joe Kelly in 2025. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this constant relaunching is getting old. Like, one of the best things is, like, when you're like, "Oh, man, I love Incredible Hulk 181." Why do we know it's 181? Because it's the first appearance of Wolverine. But when it's like, "Oh, that first appearance, you're like, issue Incredible Hulk number 1." Well, which one? Volume 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah.
8? I get it for two reasons. Number one's bring in new dollars. It brings in new eyeballs. It brings in new fans. If you're a new fan coming in the thing, you're like, oh, they're on issue 307 of this book. I don't know where to start. Like, it can be intimidating, but it's also like ridiculous. Like I
It's
said, when
annoying.
you have the same exact creative team, like redoing the book, it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah,
What's
why
going on here?
reboot it?
Yeah, why? What's the point? It's just me being curmudgeony old man yelling at the clouds right now.
Heh.
You know, that said, the new number one Batman by Matt Fraction is great.
Yeah, yeah.
but
But it's
but
a
at
new
least they
team.
also it's a new team, and also like they win 150 issues. I feel like okay, you win 150, like all right, you're entitled to it. Although, like, did you really need to? Like, Batman's always going to sell well. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
you know, I don't know. I don't know. What do I know?
Yeah, what do
What
we
about you? Do you
know?
have any worst trends you've seen?
I mean, that's just kind of it as well. I don't have anything really to build on it too much. It's just
Okay.
it is hard to follow
Yeah.
that stuff, and that's the main thing. I think it's just my that because even though I had some books that I wasn't liking, it's not really like a trend thing.
Hmm.
Because it's people trying different stuff that is just not working for me. It's not a trend that I don't like. It's just,
Yeah. Just didn't
just
work.
just not working. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's just
Okay.
um yeah so I want to look to the future. I want to see
Let's look to the
what's going
future.
on with
Yeah, let's be positive.
2026 and like what I'm really looking forward to because there's a lot of there's a lot of some good stuff to kind of look forward to
Yeah,
so
let's
far.
let's
I mean,
let's let's run it down. Run it down, baby. You go
I
first.
think I think one of the big things I think is going to be Ultimate Endgame. It's going to be the finishing of this whole new Ultimate Universe stuff and everything coming to a head. Like all this countdown is coming to this
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with the maker and everything. So I'm excited for that.
I'm curious to see how much that will impact the 616, if at all, or in
Yeah.
how much if they continue the Ultimate Universe beyond that. Like, if is it the end of this, or is it like they're gonna keep this world going? I'm definitely curious to see.
Yeah, and then well there's something else coming out though too that has making a return, right? That you're looking forward to?
Yeah, if we're looking at the same thing, they're not relaunching. That's not the correct word. So if you haven't been in your comic shop, there's Chip Zdarsky has been putting out like a bi-monthly or every 2 week like periodical called Zdarsky News. And it's funny, it started off obviously as like a lark, and then as it kind of grew to like issue 18, it got thicker and thicker and thicker, and like real interviews and like recommendations. And like the whole time I'm reading this, like this needs to be like a full-on magazine, because it was like a free kind of like periodical they just handed out.
Mhm.
And he recently just put out issue 18 and was like literally like, yep, this is the last one. I can't do it anymore. I'm busy. But, hey, guess what's coming out? And a bunch of former like writers, editors, creators, like people in the biz have come together, and they're basically, it's not Wizard Magazine, but it's called Comic
Mhm.
Book the Magazine. But they're making what if for everybody who remember Wizard, it's basically going to be Wizard Magazine again. Like
Oh yeah, awesome.
it's going to have price guides, it's going to have interviews, it's going to have roundtables, it's going to have like rankings, and it's going to have all that stuff. The first issue is 2.99, and it's like, it's literally like an interview with Scott Snyder and the absolute Batman team talking about what goes into the book. And I'm like, I've been clamoring for like this kind of a publication to come back. So like I am super excited. I think it's going to launch either it's in January or I think it's March. I think it's when the first issue launches. It might be March or May, but yeah, keep an eye out for that, because 2.90, and it's like, and this is the whole thing where it's like, this will be the place where if you're like, you are lost with comic books, like this is a good way to pick it up and tell you where to start, or you can
That's
listen to
what
our
yeah,
podcast.
Yeah, the podcast would be your first place to go to, but the Wizard magazine, or
Well,
the
it's
new
not Wizard, it's
magazine. I know, yeah, I
comic
know,
book,
yeah.
yeah, comic,
I'm
yeah.
saying,
I'm
but
just calling Wizard Magazine for people to know,
right,
but yeah.
if like Wizard magazine was my like, if
Yeah,
I was in a lull of the comics, that would be my way back in to see what's
yeah,
trending, what's going on
yeah.
at the
Well,
time too. What happened with Wizard? Like, what was the whole thing? It was like a big controversial, like they
no, it
were
just they just
something.
periodicals it just started they changed direction, about towards the end of their lives, and it just didn't land with the fans. They did a big relaunch and it just didn't work.
Mm,
And then, so they ceased publications around like issue 1, I want to say like issue 180 or somewhere around there. And then yeah, Wizard World, which was the convention circuit around, there was controversy with that, but they kept it going for a while. Then COVID just nuked it. COVID just took it out. It couldn't
mm,
survive post COVID. Yeah, but like, it's funny. I picked up a bunch of Wizard issues like for $1, like in a dollar bin, like it's against a dollar bin. And it was just kind of going flipping through. It was like, it was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of it was stupid and like, dumb and infantile, but also a lot of it was fun. You know what I mean? Like it was like this it made me crave that. So when I saw the announcement, like, this is happening, I'm like, "Oh, please, this is what I want. Thank you." Like, you know what I mean? Like, just, do the
yeah.
stupid, like, who would win? Silver Surfer versus Thor? Yeah, let's get into it. Or Thor versus Superman? Like, yeah, let's have fun. You know what I mean? Like, let's go for it. But, yeah,
Yeah, and all those
I'm excited
casting
for it.
stuff they would do too would be fun.
Yep, exactly. I mean, again, it's the spiritual successor to Wizard. Is so for all you Wizard fans out there, and again, Wizard wasn't a perfect magazine by history, but whether it was
Yeah.
Wizard or Comic Buyer's Guide or Comic Inner Bulletin or any of those like publications back in the day, if you missed that, like it seems like this will be the next, like I said, spiritual sequel to all of it.
Mhm.
Um, Speaking of Zdarsky, he's got an event coming out next year. Have you read anything about it? Or do you know anything about it?
Uh, the Armageddon stuff, right? Or no,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't
it's
really
basically
I've heard too much about it, but what's it's Armageddon, right?
yes, it's called Armageddon, which was ties back into our intro for the show. No, it's yeah, it's not much as no. I mean, there's some things out there. I kind of avoided some of the spoilers, unlike obviously other things. Um,
Okay.
it feels like it's coming off the heels of One World Under Doom. So I don't know much more of that, but as always, it's going to be earth shaking and change the status quo of the Marvel universe forever. And as they say with every single event, I'm excited because Zdarsky is kind of the showrunner for it, as lack of a better word. So I'm
Mhm.
optimistic to see where this goes. What other things are you excited for 2026?
I'm excited for the Legion of Superheroes to make a return. They
Oh
got the
yeah,
little bit of the a soft launch again this year with like the Legion of Dark Side and stuff. Kind of
mhm.
like it's
That's
like a
right. Yeah,
evil
Williamson.
version, but they're
Yeah,
going to be relaunching in March, and I'm all for it. I'm
all
a big
for it, babe.
Legion fan,
Which
and I'm just happy for it.
which legion? Because there's 3 legions if I'm not if I'm thinking, or well, 4 now if you count the Bendis stuff, right? Um,
Sorry,
right?
say
Is there
again.
because how many because there's 4 different timelines of Legion of Superheroes. Like there's the Silver Age Legion of Superheroes, there was
Right.
the 80s version of it, there was the Mark Wade version of it, and then I believe there's the Bendis version of it. Which era do you hope that they land, or do you hope it's a whole new like relaunch?
I mean, any of well, I don't want to say any of them, but most of those versions, I'm all for.
Okay.
I mean, you can pick any of them really because
Uh,
they've all been fun. I did like Wade's
take.
version of it. I did like
Yeah.
also Giffen stuff. I mean, so it's kind of like the more the Legion, the better.
Yeah.
I did like how with it because the whole thing about that team is just how big the team is, and that's
Yeah.
one of their big, the strongest. Like,
Yeah.
um, so this is what draws me to them so strong. There's so many different characters and so many different
Yeah. Well,
powers
yeah,
and stuff.
hours
It makes it
and
fun.
storytelling opportunities and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh,
I mean any of them really.
yeah, I'm obviously I'm gonna always be inclined to pick Mark Wade. I'm not
Mhm.
Not too keen on, like, the Silver Age stuff. I definitely if I had to line up, I'd say it was, like, the late '80s, early '90s stuff, like you said, the Keith Giffen and Mark Waid was actually involved with that stuff too, in that '80s, '90s stuff too. He did some writing then as well. I would say that would be, like, what I would mostly because like, I had those great Adam Hughes covers and all of that. That's when they also had the sister book Legionnaires at the same time, so
Yeah.
that's kinda what I would enjoy, but, again,
Also,
to
and
your p
then
go ahead.
Supergirl and the Legion, in
Yeah.
Legion of Superheroes, that was good. And then, their involvement with Superman and Superboy, so
I'm all
yeah.
about whatever they decide to do. I'm sure I'm just gonna enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't
It'll be
really need an
fun.
era. I just know some people are very hyper specific when it comes to Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah, which is that's just weird to me. It's like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
They're the
Um,
Legion, Saturn Boy or Saturn Girl and Cosmic Boy and Lightning
yeah.
Lad are all gonna be the
Lightning Lad,
same.
yeah. Karate Kid and, Matter Eating Lad and all
Yeah.
that.
Look, and if you want some more, like, good Legion, watch that Legion, cartoon. That was
That's
done
right,
really
that's
well.
right. Yeah, I gotta read the I have the, 2 trades of 5 years later, which is, like, where they basically the book just shifts 5 years later, and it's like the universe is in the galaxy's messed up, and, like, the Legion are all older 'cause the Legion are all supposed to be teenagers, and now they're, like, kind of adults at
Right.
this point, like, I have to read those, but, anyway, that's kind of that '80s Keith Giffen stuff I was talking about earlier. I've read some of it, but I need to read it all in full. Speaking of TVs and cartoons, is there any, TV shows or anything like that you're looking forward to, in 2026?
I mean, what am I not looking forward to?
True.
Like,
Good point.
I think one of the big ones is, The Boys' final season is coming out next year. They just hit a trailer that
Okay.
looks great. And then, we're gonna get with the Green Lantern show,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
supposedly in 2026. They
Supposedly.
did some like a trailer for an upfront somewhere, so there's been like
Okay.
clips
So
and
there's actual footage out
stuff
there that
about it.
exists.
Yeah, and I like the actors that are involved with that. I think you talked about Wonder Man. That's gonna be
Yeah.
coming out.
I'm excited for like I said, I'm excited for I'm I'm cautiously optimistic for the MCU in 2026. Yeah,
Yeah,
I am.
I'm
Cautious.
I'm cautiously optimistic for the MCU every year. So this
Uh, that's
I
pretty
can't.
good.
I'm excited, but I can't get my hopes up too much
Yeah, don't want to.
each time.
You,
Uh,
uh you also wrote down, Wolverine video game. I had heard of
yeah,
this, and I haven't really been following this. Can you please give me some deets?
yeah. And so like they've been working on this game forever, and it's Insomniac Games, so it's the same
Oh,
people that
so
did
Spider-Man
the
team.
Spider-Man games. So they did a trailer like a couple months ago or a month ago or whatever, but it looks very fun and the
Okay,
graphics already look great. So and it's but
okay.
again, I trust that team
Yeah.
behind the Spider-Man games. So it's I'm excited for it.
Alright. Alright. And
PlayStation, I
that's all
think.
you
I
can
think
say
it's only on
is
PlayStation.
it's an exclusive? Yeah, well, son of a gun. Yeah. When I get rich and I can afford one, I'll buy a PlayStation 5 and then buy it. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know what Xbox is doing. So it's just kind of
I don't think
their
Xbox
business
knows what they're
model
doing.
is doing
Honestly, with
weird.
that, like, that huge increase on Game Pass, like, I was just like, "Well,
Yeah.
that's" I'm a my infrastructure is all Xbox, and I was just like, when they put that big price jump, I was like, "Do you want to kill your audience? Because that's how you kill your audience." And it's funny, I get constant emails and updates, "Please come back, come back, come back." I'm like, "I'm not
Right.
coming back. You drop the price and I'll come back." I'm unemployed, dude, and so, like, I've kinda switched over to Nintendo because my kid's into the Switch. And so we've been doing a bunch of like Switch 2 stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't need,
Mm.
I can play the old library of content, there instead. Like, I honestly, I like really upset that Microsoft did that. I'm like, do you guys realize you're like,
Yeah, it's
you, you,
ridiculous.
you're killing your golden goose? Like, I've been willing to pay, and now I'm not going to. And I know a lot of people who are like, yeah, I'm not going to pay that. And you're killing brand loyalty with that. I'm not saying,
And
you know what I mean?
yeah, they're losing like they're not gonna have exclusivity on a lot of their
Yeah.
stuff too. Like what
Yeah.
Halo's gonna be on PlayStation. Did you ever
Yeah.
think it would be ever be said?
Yeah, well, even like Microsoft Flight Simulators would be on PlayStation,
Yeah.
right? Like, it's a lot of that stuff. Like, what are you trying to kill your brand? Because that's how you kill your brand. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's it. So I don't know what Xbox is doing. It's too bad. I really do like Xbox. Like I've been since the 360. It's been my console of choice, and it's I'm sure like what happened was like they did a cost analysis thing. We're like, well, we can raise the price this much. We're only gonna have this much drop off, and so we'll still make profits. And it's like, yes, but at what cost? Like you know, you're going to alienate a lot of your audience and they're going to leave and go somewhere else. And guess what? They're going to start building up their content somewhere else and they're not going to want to come back. But
Yeah.
that's a video game podcast, not a comic book podcast. So, we'll
That's
change that.
we got cartridges.
Yeah, we got cartridges, which I still try to hold on to mine. Um,
You would.
what? Yeah, I would.
They
I'm a lemming collector, dude. Like I really am. I need to stop. I don't
hey,
know. What am I doing with
you
my
know,
life?
no, hey, if you collect what you collect, that's what you're a physical media guy.
Yeah, I really am. I really am. It's not good. My wife's not happy about it. I don't blame
I
her.
bet not, Grandpa. Um,
Dude, you know what happened to me, you son of a I'm walking down the street with my baby and my wife and I, and like, let's go, "Oh, she's so cute. Are you her granddaughter or is she your granddaughter?"
wow.
I'm just like, "No, no,
Are
I'm
you
the
gonna get a
old."
throat punch?
I just was just like and my wife was just like, "That hurt, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, that didn't feel good. That didn't feel good at all." I'm like, "Okay, well, I guess it's time to shave the
Oof.
white grandpa beard off." Um Yeah.
Oof.
Anyway, well, speaking of
Um,
old things and new things and all that stuff.
yeah, I think we've been dancing around it, but Doomsday and Spider-Man come out next year, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah,
be
yeah, you're right.
super
Okay, I haven't
pumped.
been talking about it. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, 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 good. I mean, the trailer should be coming out this week for
Yep.
Doomsday, and
I have not seen
excited.
like you said, I actively avoid trailers, but I
Yeah.
might poke my head out of the sand for this one. And honestly, I really do like the Spider-Man movies. Like, I really love the last Spider-Man movie, even though it was technically Phase 4. I really love that Spider-Man movie. Um, I really did. And so we'll see. Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic for the MCU. What about you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see where they go with all this, like,
Yeah,
what how the pivot's gonna be. So,
yeah. Hopefully,
because
they
I
can
was
redirect. I
excited
mean,
for Kang. I was all in for
y
Kang, so I'm gonna
yeah.
interested to see what the pivot for Doom will be.
Well, the thing is like I don't want the MCU to be bad. I don't want the DC universe to
Mm,
be bad. I don't want any of this to be bad. I don't like revel like when they're like, "Oh yeah, they totally biffed it. Haha, they're finally dead."
yeah.
It's like, "No, I don't want that. I want good entertainment. I want to see something I love done well and on the big screen." Like I do. I genuinely do, you know? Um, we'll
Yeah,
see if they
why do
do it
people
though.
want stuff like that to fail? I don't understand it.
Because it's popular.
Because it's
That's why.
nerds.
Well, there's that too. Remember, they didn't create it. They could have done it so much better. I mean, that's the thing.
Right.
Oh, if I was in charge, this is what we would have done. It's like but you're not. Like
Yeah.
you're not in charge though. So as I always like to say, vote with your wallet. You don't
Yeah,
like it, go
exactly.
buy something else. Go do something else. There's plenty of stuff out there. There are plenty of alternatives out there. Yeah. Anyway.
The no alternative to comic book podcasts other than ours. But
Yeah, that I can't do anything about. You're just gonna have to listen to us, all 15 of you or 20, well, let's say 20 of you. No, and
yeah.
we do appreciate you listening. Thank you. Um, do you have any weekly recommendations, or do you feel like this is kind of covered, Josh?
No, I think we're good. I mean, again, it's been a fun year, and I'm excited for the next year.
Yep. Yep.
And again, we did a full year of podcasting too,
Yep.
and so that's been pretty crazy.
I'm already reaching out to people to be guests.
Yeah. That's another thing I guess we should have put on our what we're excited for 2026. It's just like what our plans are for the podcast. Like
Yeah,
more guests, more books, more
more books.
fun.
I'm gonna try, like I said, I mentioned this to Josh before. I'm gonna try and do episodes that are just like essays, essentially, like a verbal essay. Like I've written out a couple here and there, like on Secret Wars or on Constance of Champions and stuff like that. But I may have like us do like a back and forth dialogue, not dialogue on it, but like just reading of it or something like that. I don't know. I know I want to put some additional content out there, and
Yeah.
So
Trying to build
hope-
the Got Issues network.
exactly. So that's what we're hoping to do this year.
Trying to make it marketable and,
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, honestly, like, this is insider baseball, y'all. I would love it if this became super successful and like, we could go to cons and like, talk to fans all there and all that. That would be
I
the
would
dream.
love
That would
to
be the dream.
meet other fans for sure. I
Exactly.
mean,
Yeah.
I
I
already
mean, I
I
also
I personally
I
know like half our fan base anyways. It's kinda
well, so like I said, when I was did that IGN live gig a few months back, like I ran into a couple
yeah.
fans. I was like, it was really nice. Like they were so nice. They
Yeah.
would just wanna chat with like, "You're BComp, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am." Like and, like, I had, like, an intern that was, like or not an intern, rather, like, a PA rather, that was, like he was, like, nervous, like, "Dude, why are you alright?" He's like, "You're BComp, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh my god." I'm like, "Dude, it's cool, man. Like, I'm just a dude. Just talk to me." Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a celebrity by any stretch of the imagination, I just like comic books.
Yeah, dude,
Uh,
chill out. I was like,
no, it was like
I
that.
was
Yeah, he
behind the
it
camera
was
stuff. Chill
it
out.
was
No, I'm
really
kidding.
it was really sweet though, and
Yeah,
I
yeah, of
was like,
course.
he was very kind, and it definitely feeds the ego. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I will say I am gonna recommend this week because outside of the normal issues and stuff like that, I finished that first compendium of GI Joe. Again, 50 issues, man. I love it. I'm an old man though, so of course I'm gonna love 80s GI Joe comics. What about you though? Were you reading anything new, or are you reading kind of just old stuff?
I also went back to old stuff because I think it was just stemmed from our discussion of Wolverine Weapon X. I was like, man, I was from that discussion. I was jonesing for like Ultimate
Yeah,
X Men, the
yeah,
OG Ultimate X Men, where they did
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
volume 2 of the trade where they went back to the Weapon X. So I just started just
Return to Weapon
rereading that
X,
whole
yeah.
thing.
I sent you that
Uh,
trailer. Did you see that trailer
I
I sent
know
you for it?
exactly. Yeah, the trailer was got me. That's what wanted me to
Yeah,
read the whole. I didn't read the whole series, but I just read most of it. Like
most
I've
of that,
up
yeah,
basically just the Miller stuff. So like all the
yeah,
way up to Return of the King, which was like
nice,
the Magneto um
nice,
second round. So
yeah,
that was fun. It was a really fun read.
yeah. If you don't know, like, Marvel back in, like, the 2000s used to put out trailers for their comic book series, like, actual, like and it was, like, motion video kind of like,
Yeah, like a motion
flash.
comic or just
Yeah,
you can make
yeah,
it on the
exactly.
iMovie now.
Exactly, and they added, like, cool techno music to it. It was like, oh, it actually worked. I was like, "This
Yeah, it
kinda
gets you
works." Like, it
hyped.
pumped. I was like, I was hyped. Yeah, exactly, hyped.
Yeah.
So, I happened to find one. I've been looking for it for years. Since I've known Josh, like, when we worked at E together, I've been looking for this, like, one trailer. I was like, "Dude, you gotta see this trailer." And everyone's all look for it. I could never find it. Look for it, never could find it. I'm like, "Oh, you never." And then, like, after our Weapon X session, I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna look for it this morning." I found it. I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
Someone posted it all to YouTube. Holy crap. In fact, we should put it up, post it to our socials. But I sent it off to
Yeah.
Josh and I was like, dude, that was kind of sick. I'm like, yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then, like, literally the right when I just started reading the first issue of the
Yeah.
Ultimate X-Men run.
Yeah. It's funny. Our discussion made me want to go renew, not even, just 52, actually. I'm like, I kind of want to read 52 now, but
That's what I have that in my chamber, next to my chamber.
should we just deep six Hitman next and just do 52?
No, no, let's get Hitman out. I mean, we've gone back and forth on Hitman like so many times. We have to get this. The Hitman is like the comic book version of our podcast in a sense of like we had talked about doing Hitman so many times.
Yeah.
We just gotta literally like lack of a better word, pun intended, pull the trigger on it and
Heyo.
get through it. Because this again, we did one of my golden child, so now it's kind of like your turn for your golden child
Yeah,
of
but
the
we did
Hitman.
JLA year one. We did JLA year one. I
Yeah,
mean,
but that was both of us. That doesn't count.
it's true. It's true. Yeah, Hitman, yeah, I have some, fond memories, and I'm almost scared to reread it because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, man, what if it doesn't live up to how I remember it?" Like, I'm not gonna be happy about that. Oh, boy.
Here we go. So yeah, next episode, we're gonna be talking about Hitman and everything
Yeah,
about that. So please stay tuned for 2026. I don't know when that will be out because those are dense. So
yeah, it's a dense read.
we'll
Well,
do our best and keep you
I can
updated on our
guarantee it
socials.
will be in the new year.
Yes, yeah. But we'll look you the way that you can kind of know when the new episode will be out is if you are on our socials. We're on Blue Sky and Instagram. That's We
Great
Got
segue.
Issues and We Got Issues Cast. And Brian, you're on
Yeah,
as
I'm
the
on Blue
BComp.
Sky as the BComp. I'm thinking of actually starting a because I actually ran into a couple creators this weekend, and what's your Instagram? I was like, oh, have fun. I was like, all right. I'm like, this is getting old. I think I'm like to the
Was
point. It's like I keep running into creators like, oh, what's your Insta? I'm like, I don't have one. Or they
yeah,
did. They did. I told them about the podcast. Oh, I know that show. I'm like, no, you don't. There's got to be other. You do not know our show,
there's
but I appreciate. I
absolutely yeah.
appreciate.
E-
appreciate it.
our follower base, like our following numbers, guarantee. Yeah, no, you do not. So, uh,
But anyway, that all said, yeah, if you like this episode, again, rate us 5 stars and recommend us to your friends so we can grow that user base. If you didn't like the episode, still give us 5 stars, recommend us to your user base.
yeah, again, if you didn't like us, who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah.
Brian and I will be. I will post a certain location at a certain time. We will be there, and we will fist fight everybody who gives us less than a 5 star review.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He threw down the gauntlet. I guess I have to back my buddy up.
2026. It's the year of aggression.
I guess so. Well, okay. Let's
Here
have
we
the end
go.
of the grievances.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go.
If there is something you want us to
I'm gonna.
talk about or discuss,
I'll
please feel free. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll
Sorry,
write
Joel.
issues on my knuckles, and it'll just
There
be
you
like
go.
we all got issues, and I'm giving
There we
them.
go. We got
Yeah, sorry.
it doesn't fit. It doesn't
No,
I'm
it's
like,
just
"Dang
issues. ISSUES.
it."
Uh,
That's funny.
or yeah, or I don't know. I'll make it
Anyway.
work.
All right. Well, if there is something you want us to talk about, please let us know. As always,
Yeah.
very approachable in person. I'm also approachable on the onlines and the social medias, and we'd love to hear what you have to think.
Yeah, it
And
was
to all
funny
those
too.
of you
It
listen
seems
go ahead.
everybody runs into you, Brian. So here's the thing. We'll see if people can run into me in the wild.
There
We'll
we go.
see if that happens. That's the real Where's Waldo.
That's funny. I actually just ran into Gina Versa at my local library. He was
That's what
like,
I mean. You run into everybody. So it's just like here's the real test. See if you can run into me in the wild. I don't
to
even
be fair, but
you're
my
in the
wife
you're
was
in the
like,
hub though too
yeah, my
of
wife was like,
everybody.
"You run into everybody." Like, well, oh, that's one of my swimmers on my swimsuit. It's like, how, what?
Yeah.
I,
That's
real quick. You knew this. I ran into our photo editor, like one of our local, or was one of our PAs on at E. When we were all PAs
yo,
together.
yeah.
Ran into her like 4 hours outside of LA, at like on a hiking path
Right.
in like the redwoods. I'm like, what? I'm all, is that? Oh my god! And like, she's like, B comp. I'm like, oh my god, not B comp, but Brian. But I was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what?
She knew you before BComp. We
Yeah, it was
pre
pre B comp.
BComp.
Pre B comp. Yeah, like I said, love to hear from all y'all.
Again, let's see
Um,
if you can find me in the wild. Let's see.
there we
Let's see
go.
it.
There we go. There we go. Find Josh. Where's
Yeah.
Waldo? But where's Josh Mark?
Right.
On that note, Josh, you got anything else?
No, that's it. Thanks everybody for listening this year, and we will see you
Yeah.
in the new one.
Thank you so much again. Peace.